Hello. Right, that's that finished. I am cleaning up some games. Nearly finished my beam dive. I want to do that before I start anything new, technically, realistically. Which is why we are going to be finishing off Aquadine today. I have done the other stories, so I will tell you about them. Because it would just have taken too long to do those on stream. And if you're interested, you can always play them yourself. Have we finished Genesis Noir yet? That would be a good one to do there. I shall find that to make sure that I've got that one labeled. So yeah, so basically this is, I don't know, part 5, 6, 7 something or other. We've been doing this for a little while. Let's have a look. Oh no, sorry, 4. This is part 4. What we did was we've done 2 sort of 3-hour streams, and then we did like an hour stream before my friend arrived, which we didn't really get massively far in, where we followed Anya the mermaid's story. Because that one seemed like the most potentially interesting one. I want to see if his mum gets healed. So yesterday I went yeah, so there we followed Diane. Ooh. No, just a new look. We followed Diana's story yesterday. She basically has very low self-esteem. She wants to do something other than what her mum wants her to do, which is fair enough. She finds out about Robin and Ciel. It's all very much, every single one of these stories ends up with the girl being like, Robin, I love you. Ciel, I love you. Oh, you're the same person. Well, that's great, because I love you. And him dating them. It's like, what? These can't all be happening at the same time. You can't be dating all of these women at once. It's really bad. So yeah, so we did Diana's story. So there was a fashion show. No, there was a Miss Aquadine show. She got second. I think she's quite happy with herself now. I don't know whether she wants to be a model or something, but she did a little photo shoot with Robin, which was kind of cute. Because we're doing Anya's story. Anya's the first one with the dark hair. She's a mermaid. The one with the red hair is Diana. Then it's Cameron. So sadly, it's not as cool as we thought. Cameron is not trans. Cameron is just a girl dressing up as a boy because she wanted to do sports and they wouldn't let her. Though she's not very concealy at it. She literally has a bra on in the changing rooms. Robin walks in on her. So yeah, that's kind of weird. And then Robin, which is the one on the end, he's the main character of the story, is like, cool. I think I probably should have known that. Then there's a big martial arts contest, but of course, right before the martial arts contest, the sports coach walks in on her as well. It's like literally, if you're trying to be stealthy, you're very bad at it. And they say you can't compete because you're a girl and this is a boys' competition. And then there is some competing. Robin competes for some reason. I don't know why. He wins. And then I think Cameron gets knocked out. They don't win, but she got to try. And then, of course, she fancies Robin, finds out he's CL, and they go on a date and she wears a skirt. And it's like, this was not the wholesome LGBT story I was hoping for. And then Elizabeth in the blue there is a singer. We find out why she stopped singing. She stopped singing because her mum died. That's a really good reason to stop singing, I guess, because she felt guilty that her mum died like during a concert, and yeah, so that was kind of tragic and sad, and she was depressed. That's why she hasn't been singing. She did like King in the talent show for the Miss Aquadine to make cookies. There's like a whole wholesome thing about how she sort of started baking, and like her first attempt was terrible. Her dad said they were amazing. The butler actually told her the truth, and then she went off and practiced, and now she's really, really good. And like Robin said, this is the best cheesecake I've ever had, type thing. She decides when she finds out about Robin and CL, because of course she does, because again, not stealthy. She decides to throw a concert to raise money for his mum's hospital bills, which is really, really sweet. There's the whole thing where the butler and the granddad and CL's dad, who died, Robin's dad, who died, and like other people all used to work together on a ship. Oh yeah, and the teacher used to work together on a ship, and that's just weird. But hey, and the butler is kind of funny. Again, yeah, Elizabeth finds out CL is Robin. There's a whole little cute thing where the butler sort of sneaks up on them when they're about to kiss and goes, "Would you like some breath mints before you kiss?" Embarrassing. Her dad is very embarrassing. She does a concert. She has a bit of sort of like stage fright paralysis where she can't sing and she thinks she's going to fail. And then her dad basically, stands up and yells, "I believe in you. You can do this. Your mum wouldn't want you to stop singing, etc., etc., etc." And then she sings. And then it comes out in the paper that her mum's dead. And then she and Robin, because of course they're dating now as well. You don't understand how they can all be dating him at once and not. It must be parallel storylines. It's really weird. Then they get trained to go back to where she used to live, and they go visit Mum's grave, and then everyone's there because, yeah, sure. And that's kind of sweet. So we unlocked some gallery stuff, and then because I wasn't sure whether it would count me having unlocked all the stories, I then whizzed back through Anya's story up until where we got to, which was somewhere around. There's a pot which his dad, granddad, and the butler and the teacher found that they think is from ancient Aquadine. Oh yeah, and the spirit of the old mermaid man is in the cat, which is just a bizarre thing. And his mum's still dying, and they think like Aquadine tears or crystal or whatever it is, which I thought was mermaid tears, will cure her. So we're trying to find a cure. We're trying to go to ancient Aquadine. Oh, and Elizabeth, the singer, can also see the jellyfish, the Undine, because she also has the aquamarine eyes, the same as Robin. But I think they just have mermaid ancestry rather than actually being a mermaid. So yeah, so we're gonna load up the second save that I prepped yesterday, which is exactly the same place, just very slightly behind because I wanted to start reading the story from the bit that actually mattered and not the bit that was talking about sandwiches. But yeah, there's a whole thing where, she doesn't want to be a mermaid. She kind of, so I don't know what will happen with that, but there we go. we're caught up. That's what the other stories were. Yeah, they weren't massively impressive. I think this one's probably the most interesting of the stories for streaming. As I said, if you want to get more information, though I suppose there is a oh yeah, there's an encyclopedia which I found. Yeah, so we're looking for the aquamarine crystals made from the tears of sea folk. So we need to find a good thingy. Yeah, so then we've got to figure out how to get to ancient Aquadine. There's like a whole bunch of bonus art which I will go through at the end. We have 4 achievements left, so I'm not sure whether some of these, I think those 2 probably go with the story, and this is like an epilogue type thing, so I'm glad I did the stories before this stream so we can get the epilogue in. But without further ado, I'm just going to start reading. Because we have only so much time, and I would actually like to get the mermaid story finished today to put a line under that. Other games wise, I don't think I'm going to be able to put Lonesome Village back on stream. If you want to find out more of that, you're just going to have to play the game yourself. I did a showcase of it. I feel like I gave it a good showing, but I don't think I can put it back in the rota. I think I've got to draw a line under that. We got Figment in, and we did Beacon Pines. Things like The Quarry and Stardew and Phoenix Wright and Arcade Spirits were basically going to, at some point, we're going to pick one and just play through on a Sunday story time. Okay, not all of those. Quarry, I don't know, we maybe have a week when we do that. I'm not quite sure how to put that back into rotation. Stardew will be if I need a cozy Saturday. It's not my favourite game, so I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, Arcade Spirits and Arcade Spirits 2 I would like to actually finish playing through. We did the first chapter and sort of left it at that. I would like to do more. I don't know whether it'll fit in with on stream. And then, yeah, Phoenix Wright, I kind of want to do the other stories in Phoenix Wright. We've got 2 more. But again, it's just time. These things take time. The visual novels, the reading, it takes time. And we have about 24 promos already. So I may have to rethink some stuff. Maybe that promos, even if it's a visual novel, only gets 1 stream. Unless it's a particularly good story. Like Arcade Spirits is a really good story, I'm sure. Well, I'm assuming. I've really enjoyed what I've done so far, but there's like 10 chapters and each chapter takes a stream. So as you can see, that's why I'm prevaricating on this. But I have at least got my stream list down a bit. So we won't be doing Lonesome Village anymore on stream. Citizen Sleeper is basically waiting for the last DLC. We've technically finished that, but I would like to complete the DLC story. So when that comes out, but that probably won't be for another few months, maybe next quarter. Cult of the Lamb will be a, drop in, drop out. If they do another event, like they did the Blood Moon, I might drop in again. I'm hoping for Twitch integration at some point, to be fair. And yeah, Quarry, I'm not quite sure how to put that back in. I feel like maybe we just need to dedicate a week to doing it. Something like that. But yeah, and then the rest of the promo ones I've not played yet, but that will clear out my backlog of promos. Requested games, I've got 2 requested games from Jessie, which I need to put in at some point. We have some co-stream stuff. Yeah, I've got a bunch of PC games that I would like to play. Again, just not having the time to put into those. There's still my Mass Effect Insanity run. Danganronpa 2 at some point I would like to play. But yeah, it may be just a case of just dedicating a section of streams to finishing off stuff and dipping into other promos, but basically saying, right, it's 1 stream per promo, or multiple promos per stream depending on what's going on. And then if there's something that people particularly like, they can request it and use channel points. Otherwise, I will finish stuff off stream because it's just gonna get unwieldy otherwise. So yes. Anyway, sub sandwich. Right. Okay. There we go. So this is where we got to. After our conversation last night, I asked my grandpa about the jar. Want to hear the story? Knock yourself out. 1 month after I was born, my grandpa received intelligence that an island might be holding an ancient Aquadinian relic. Their mission was merely to explore and retrieve any clues, but it took them longer than expected to reach their destination. After searching the area for weeks, they came across a jar engraved with what appeared to be an ancient language. It was their only discovery that came close to a relic. Sailors started celebrating, and they were eager to share what they found. However, the journey back was not as smooth. A powerful storm appeared out of nowhere and caught the SS Newport. When they tried to navigate their way through it, a woman's faint voice resounded in the deafening winds. Give it back. What? As they strolled through the storm, the voice grew louder, and no one knew where it was coming from. The sailors thought the voice belonged to someone from their ship, but they remembered no women were on board. Suddenly, that same voice screamed so loud that everybody covered their ears. Enough. Give it back! Yeah. The sailors came to the conclusion that the voice referred to the jar. Maybe the ship would be freed if they gave it up. My grandpa, however, didn't flinch. He had confidence that they could make it out without forfeiting their mission. The sailors did everything they could, but their ship was destroyed by the ocean's great waves. Everyone miraculously made it ashore except for a single man. My dad. They organised search parties and looked for months, but had no luck. He was eventually pronounced dead. I mean, it could be that he actually turned into a mermaid. Except that the mermaid gene might be on his mum's side, because obviously she's got mermaid. She's got that mermaid disease right now, we think. There is a possibility that his dad might be alive, but it's probably likely that, not. Considering it's been 18 years. Unless he was kidnapped by ancient mermaids, but there were none left, so I don't know. To this day, my grandpa still believes what he heard that night was a siren, because the voice presumably caused the tragedy. I don't want to hear anymore.
Anya.
Are you alright? You're shivering.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just didn't expect it to be one of those stories. Sorry, I should have given you a heads up.
Is that
I said I'm fine. Anyway, if that voice really was after the jar, why did the storm stop?
Hmm.
The sailors think she was satisfied after taking a life, but my grandpa still gets nightmares about it.
What?
Still, thanks for the story. I gotta go now. Anya gathers the rest of her belongings and scurries out the cafeteria before she could hear the rest of the story. I forgot how easy it is to scare her. Maybe I shouldn't have told her that. You basically told her that a mermaid killed your dad. Wow. Oh. Is that Ursula? Dr. Woodman appears quite invested in her new book as she continues reading in the hall. There we go. Urus used to be one of Levios's most loyal followers, but she was also in love with him. Levios had only had eyes for Juno, though, which was why Urus met in secret with an old sorceress from the surface. The sorceress told her that if she drinks a special love potion, she would become immensely attractive in the eyes of her romantic interest. It's basically Little Mermaid slightly wonked. Urus eagerly bought it for a few jewels before returning to the ocean. Oh, however, what she drank was actually a curse that morphed her into an octopus woman. Only then did Urus realize she was fooled by a witch, and her heart was torn by what she became. This was the price she paid for being naive. Urus was frightened by her own reflection and hoped no one would ever see her, so she locked herself away. Interesting. Dr. Woodman closes her book with ways to go before finishing it. She gazes at its cover once more. The Tale of Urus.
Really?
Gee, talk about being scammed. Guess there are greedy bastards in every age. I wish there were more pictures, though, but that'd be asking too much from an old fairy tale. There are hundreds of stories written by believers just like this one. Most of these are fiction, so no one knows what really happened. It's nearly time for my next appointment. I'll have to save this for later. Dr. Woodman returns to her office so she can prepare to see her next patient. Sometime after school ended for the day, Anya heads straight home and locks herself in her room. Oh, Robin has some nerve to tell a scary story in the middle of the day. He really caught me off guard. Whatever, I'll just draw something and forget about it. Anya thrust her arm into her bag, but she couldn't feel the hard surface she was looking for. Where's my sketchbook? I always keep it in my bag. Anya panics as she attempts to search through her messy room. That's not really messy. No, it's not here. Where did I leave it? After checking every inch of her room, Anya frantically looks around the rest of her house. What? I can't find it anywhere. Don't tell me I'll have to at school. There are drawings I can't let anyone see. Maybe I should call Robin to help me look for it.
Wow.
Maybe I shouldn't. He's the last person I'd want to see that picture. Maybe Diana. She's a loudmouth who loves rumours. I just need to calm down and reduce my steps. Anya prepares to leave for school, which should be open since extracurriculars are still ongoing at this hour. But yes, it's Sunday. It is... Oh yeah, and Happy New Year. Forgot to say that. Yeah, it's Sunday the 1st of January, 2023. That's going to take some getting used to writing down. I always get the year mixed up for a while. But yeah, and also Sunday being the first day of the year is weird. But hey, it's fine. It's all good. I've still got Monday and Tuesday off. We go back on Wednesday. So yeah, we won't be streaming tomorrow, Monday, but we will start with doing promos on Tuesday, which may or may not be a co-stream. Should probably talk to Jessie about that. So it'll probably be a promo week. I need to get my ducks in a row and then decide whether the weekend is also promos or whether the weekend will be, you know... Oh, I suppose I could do Lonesome Village on Saturday. I could. Because I'm not going to like squeeze every single promo in because that'll just get a little untenable. But I need to actually come up with a plan because I've got quite a lot of them and I'd like to get through them at a decent pace because I get more each week. Well, each month. I get more each month, so... And we are behind. So we will see. Only one person sort of voted for it on the polls, so it wasn't particularly popular. I mean, the poll is still open. But I figured those that voted have already voted. But yes, anyway. Anya makes it to school after running out of breath. She's looking, but doesn't seem to have any luck so far. Doesn't look like it's around here either. Maybe it's inside. As Anya crosses the courtyard, she notices the martial arts team jogging nearby. Cameron makes eye contact and approaches her.
What?
Anya, what are you doing here? Just looking for something? You're as dedicated as ever, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're training for the tournament. These guys really want to win, which is why we practice every day. Can you quit the team now, sir?
Enough.
No. If I hear another complaint, you're running 10 more laps.
What?
You're kidding, right? 10 laps. Go, 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 go.
Understood.
Yes, sir. The rest of the team continue their jog, leaving Anya and Cameron alone to chat.
Wow.
Passionate, he. They'll thank me later. Anyway, you said you're looking for something. The team and I can help you out if you want.
Actually.
Oh, don't mind me. Forget what I said earlier.
I know.
I see. You're here to watch our practice, aren't you? See what? Don't be shy. You're more than welcome to join us. I'll even throw in a free uniform.
How annoying.
Definitely not. Anya hurries inside the building before Cameron could try to recruit her again. However, she seems to appreciate having a friend who's willing to help. Okay, I just want to send a quick... After checking the library, Anya continues to search for a missing sketchbook in the cafeteria. None of the lunch ladies or janitors in sight, so she can't ask for help.
Well.
I swear I had lunch with Robin, but nothing's here. Maybe there's another lost and found around somewhere. Give it back!
What?
What was that? Who's that? Give it back. I don't have it. It's in the Aqua Temple. You'll find what you're looking for there. Liar. I don't have it, I promise. Give it back. Please stop. The voice calms down as Anya is nearly driven to tears.
What's up?
Surprise! Diana?
Sorry about that.
Did I go a little overboard?
Maybe.
Ha, my bad. I was just blurting out whatever came to mind. What are you doing here anyway?
Actually.
I lost my sketchbook and can't find it. I already checked several places.
Oh.
You mean this? Diana proudly whips out the sketchbook from her bag, leaving Anya baffled. My sketchbook? Where'd you find it?
Well.
You left it back in the classroom, so it's going to bring it back. Never thought I'd run into you here. I appreciate it. No problemo. Anywho, what were you saying? Something about a temple?
I'm fine.
Ah, it's nothing. Anya quietly walks away, still embarrassed by how Diana caught her off guard. Diana happily hums Ciel's song as she walks alongside Anya in the barren hallway. Anya gazes at the orange windows without saying a word. She seems hesitant, yet willing to talk about what's on her mind.
Well.
Diana, how can you tell if you like someone? I don't believe it! Has your time finally come? Don't take it the wrong way, I just thought you might know.
Well.
I ain't no expert, but a study's either hot, rich, or famous. If you find 3-for-1 special, you hit the jackpot! You better nail him down and stamp your name on that sucker.
Wow.
I shouldn't have asked. Don't take it too seriously, I'm just messing with you. There's probably something special about him that makes you want to spend more time together. He'll be in your head a lot. Wait, are you talking from experience? I kind of got a thing for Ciel, but so does every girl. He's way out of my league, though. But forget about me and spill it. You definitely like a certain someone, and your sketchbook says it all.
Well.
I never said you could look inside. Don't worry, this will be a little secret, but hands off Ciel, okay? It's like she's telling me to do something, but not do it at the same time.
Oh.
Anywho, I heard you're all heading to the beach. I got you back.
I'm fine.
No thanks. Oh, come on. At least let me pick out your swimsuit. You'll just slap on a real sexy one.
What?
Sexy? On me? Yeah, you'll knock them glasses right out the ballpark. Gotta get him excited.
Don't know.
Who knows? Maybe he's actually a handsome hunk like Ciel. What am I gonna do? Diana's already teased her about liking Robin, but for once, Anya doesn't argue back. All she can do is blush. But yes, hopefully everyone had a good New Year's celebration if you do that kind of thing. Otherwise, a nice evening with not too many disruptions. It is the end of the weekend, so I figure people will be back to work if they're not already back. But hey, hope that 2023 is, got some good vibes. And feel free to say hi, feel free to lurk. Maybe say hi. I would like that. Dr. Woodman sneaks into the Aqua Temple in the middle of the night when hardly anyone is around. The stories of the curse were enough to scare anyone from ever touching the relic, which is why it often remains unguarded. I just want to confirm something I never noticed before. The doctor flips through several pages from the tale of Urus until she reaches an image that caught her eye before. This relic does look similar to the one in the book. It's hard to tell though, since the reference image isn't reliable. However, the descriptions seem to line up. The sailors from SS Newport have all told the same story about how difficult their return was. Everyone recalled how the aggressive waves shook them, almost as if they were the hands of the very voice they heard. That was the night when Tori lost Griffin over this relic. I'll never forget how torn she was. Tori was depressed for months, and even Susan couldn't cheer her up like she usually does. I couldn't do anything either. It looks like it's gone. A sudden flash interrupts Dr. Woodman's train of thought and illuminates the temple. Her eyes widen after realizing the source is coming from the relic itself. Oh, isn't the relic supposed to be on the stand? What's happening? The jar flashes once more and completely envelops Dr. Woodman in the white light. Ciel and Banjo are ready to head off to the beach the following morning, so his grandpa sees them off. Who's Banjo? The cat! However, he doesn't have a clue about what his grandson really has in mind.
Later.
All right, Grandpa, I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Where? You're going again? For the last time, I'm just hanging out at the Helix Beach for a day. With a cat! Yes, this cat loves the beach, right, Banjo? Yes, right. Grandpa couldn't even give her a bath, still have scratch marks. And don't forget to buy the groceries. We are out of ice cream.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, I'll remember. After seeing Rob off, Himmel hurries back inside so he doesn't miss his favourite cartoon. So you still hate baths? I don't require a human to bathe me. My tongue is far more efficient than some tub. But enough about me. Are you prepared for your adventure?
As a matter of fact.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around what it'll feel like to explore a new world, but I'll do whatever it takes. Good. Now free me, Ariel, not take another step.
No.
No. CL shrugs as he opts to drag his pet by the leash instead. This is clearly not what Banjo had in mind. Everyone arrives at the beach after stopping by Anya's first, but CL made a terrible mistake. She prepared a meal for them ahead of time. My stomach feels like a mess. I was going to take Anya out, but I didn't think she'd make lunch. What? We were going to eat out.
So?
What do you mean by we? Last I checked, cats aren't even allowed in restaurants. Ridiculous. The people of this town ought to treat their god with respect. Banjo's stomach growls right after CL's. No man, god, or cat can endure Anya's cooking. Well, an offering of burger jack would suffice for now. I know Anya meant well, but everything she makes is always so bitter. What's her tongue made out of? Steel?
Well,
Looks like a lot of people are here.
Why, yes.
Yes, this beach is usually busy over the weekend. Do you come here often?
actually,
Once in a while, if I feel like to bring something. Gorgeous, isn't it? People often come here to find so they could have them made into accessories? Shells, maybe? Aren't they pretty?
what?
Conch shells. Yeah, there was a word missing. Looks like any other conch, if you ask me. After realising how difficult it is to impress Anya, CL sets the conch aside and moves on. Meanwhile, a certain redhead has her own reasons for coming here, but it's never fun without company. Man, there are sure a lot of people today. Hope I don't miss them.
Hey.
Oh yeah, Cameron has a younger sister who's May, who's the librarian that has also had a crush on Robin. Yeah, and Cameron met Robin's mum, and that's why I think she decided to dress up as a boy to do the boys' sports, but also not to ignore her sister. I don't know, it was a little bit confusing, and I was just kind of sad that, you know, she wasn't trans. I was sad that it wasn't that kind of story. So yeah. And why'd you drag me along?
Well.
It's no fun being alone. And why aren't you dressed up in a swimsuit like me?
What?
Are you crazy in front of these people? There's no way I could do that. It's about time you show off that cute body of yours. Cute. CL passes them by as he walks towards the clear waves, but he doesn't appear to realise it. The beach is quite crowded, but even then, Diana's maiden senses are tingling. She literally starts sniffing around before realising who it is. CL, where is he? I don't see him. How can you tell he's here? My body twitches whenever a hot boy is nearby. My maiden senses are tingling. Right. Anyway, CL is probably just enjoying his weekend, unlike us. Talking about, we're having fun, right? Diana's caught by surprise when she sees Anya following behind him. Her best friend is hanging out with the guy she likes. Oh look, there's Anya. Looks like she came with Ciel.
Huh?
Wait, Anya's here with Ciel but not Robin? I thought they were talking about it the other day. Oh, isn't this enough now? We shouldn't be spying on her like this.
Sorry about
I guess you're right. Sorry for eating up your time. You okay? It's not like you to leave so quietly.
Oh,
I'm fine. Just give me a second, cuz.
later.
Let me know when you're ready to go. I'll be over there if you need me. So does Diana know? I don't know. Because I'm their cousins. I don't know. Cameron is ready to leave whenever, while Diana stays behind a bit longer. I'm sure Robin was supposed to come too, but where is he? Wait a sec, her sketchbook. She's been drawing Robin more often lately, but why were there also pictures of Ciel? As Diana quietly leaves them alone, Ciel leaves Anya towards a rugged area hidden by a small cliff.
As a matter of fact.
Not many people come to this part of the beach, so we should be fine here.
Robin.
If you're ready, take my hand. You'll be safe as long as we're together. All right. Anya stiffens up the moment Ciel firmly grabs her hand. It's the first time she's ever done it with a boy, and she retracts. Do you need a minute?
I'm fine.
I'm fine. You should worry more about yourself. Trust me, I'm nervous. It's my first time doing this, but part of me is excited to see the other side of Aquadine. I'm excited too. Ciel and Anya lock hands once more before they jump into the water together. A new adventure awaits them. Right, I am going to drop a save, and also I kind of need the bathroom. So. Right, I just really need the bathroom. I'll be right back. Right, okay, new adventure. It just seems like the, appropriate. With their fingers intertwined, Anya transforms into a mermaid as they dive deeper into the ocean. Welcome to my world, the vast blue sea.
Interesting.
Amazing! I'm actually breathing underwater, and I can see everything so clearly. Turn the music a teensy bit. Wait a second, where's Banjo?
What?
Oh, I forgot about her. She might still be waiting on the surface. For the almighty Livios, that cat is sure useless in the water. Just as CL says that, a black torpedo charges in before majestically presenting itself with pride. It's got little fishy ears. Behold the power of Levios. You may bow down now. Is that like your final form or something?
No.
As of now, yes. Oh, I see a little mermaid cat. So does that make you a catfish? It's a little mermaid cat. Silence. I am a god. He's cute. He's very cute. Oh, how cute. I want to pet you. Very well, but not the fins. They're ticklish. Ha! Even a god can't resist getting petted. Fool. Back in the day, women begged for my attention and answered my every need. It is only befitting of a god. Anya smiles as she scratches the catfish's back.
Meow.
Oh, yes, that's the spot.
Oh?
Wait, if you could turn into merfolk, why didn't you transform when you were drowning the other day? Because I am currently a spirit residing in a host body, I do not immediately transform, unlike normal merfolk. Which means I can transform at will. Mwahahaha. Does that mean that you were too stupid to save yourself? Banjo shuts up immediately. Robin, I want to show you something. Anya has a gentle grip over CL's hands, and she smiles as they dive deeper into the ocean. Once they reach the rugged sea floor, small creatures swim closer to welcome them. Come meet my friends? What a few. They seem so friendly, yet shy at the same time. Okay, I'm just going to hide so we can see the full, majestic mermaid fish thing. So cute. Now that I think about it, you were scared too when we first met.
What?
Of course I was. Do you have any idea how frightening it is to be me? I thought my life was about to change. Well, mine did, and I'm glad I met you. Me too. You have a lovely voice, by the way. When did you learn that song? I hear you sing it sometimes when you're giving tours that just caught on. Mum taught that song to me when I was a kid. She used to sing it to me every night, and it's very precious to me. The way you sing it's different to your mum's. Yours feels sadder. You can tell? Only because I sing it the same way. Singing is how I calm myself. Sometimes I just want to drown out all the noise around me, to be left alone.
Well.
Alone, To me that word meant paper and crayons. Even though most kids drew up doodling, my pictures felt different. They looked like any other kid stick figures, but no one could read the mood behind mine. It's just like a feast. Anyone can assume how someone's feeling by the expression, but not everyone is that transparent. There's always something to hide. And you don't have to hide anything from me anymore. We're no longer alone. Oops. Yeah. Wait, why am I opening up to him like this? I don't even talk to Diana about these things. Then again, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel comfortable with him. Anya smiles while holding Ciel's hand just a bit tighter. She swims together with him deeper into the ocean. God, I hope the magic lasts. A new world. It's a whole new world. Ciel looks exhausted after swimming for hours, but he still tries to keep up with their pace. Are we there yet? Are you okay, Robin? Jenny didn't break.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about me. I don't want to slow you down.
Robin.
You don't have to push yourself. You're only human after all. Is he not cold? He's pretty weak for a human. Even his crazy grandfather has more energy than him. Banjo, how much further? It's just up ahead. You could see it from here. Beyond. Oh. Several sedimentary rocks lies the exterior of a decently sized seafloor cavern. The destination is finally in sight. It looks incredible. You've yet to witness true greatness. This hidden entrance pales in comparison to my true creation.
Anya.
Anya, you said you hadn't been here before either, right? No, I rarely swim too far from town, so this is a first for me as well. Hurry up and follow me. As Banjo leads them inside the cavern, they notice a light shining from above. This cavern is so big, but I'm surprised no one's found it before.
See.
Because only with those with the aquamarine eyes can see it. Unless you know where to look, it can be difficult even for Anya to find this in the middle of the ocean. Once we surface, you shall lay your eyes on Laswell, witness the brilliance of my work.
Interesting.
This is pretty exciting. It's like we're about to set foot in a brand new world. Robin likes seeing new places, huh? Anya seemed pleased to learn something new about him, and they brace themselves for what's to come. As everybody emerges out of the water, they take a breath of fresh air before observing their new surroundings. Everywhere they looked is filled with tall white buildings and mountains. Anya and Banjo transform as they swim ashore. Ah, that's much better. I can finally feel my legs again.
Exactly.
Ha, that's my line. You got me there. How does it feel to transform back into a human?
Actually,
Bad, but my body's actually more comfortable when I'm a mermaid. Staying human for too long dries my skin. Who goes there? A man wearing an old ruggedy robe appears before the young teenagers. His face is concealed by the long hood. Ooh, why is that guy wearing a robe? Beats me. Maybe Banjo is making people worship her or something? You are prohibited from entering this territory. Leave at once. Stand down, gatekeeper. I am in your presence. My deepest apologies, master. I didn't see you there. What? Ha! He didn't see you. Ha! This place is great.
Fool.
Silence. This was supposed to be my moment. Oh, you're so cute when you're mad. I shall show mercy this time, but not again. Is that clear? Yes, master. I am most grateful for your forgiveness. Children, this is the gatekeeper of Lazul. He will show you to your rooms. The gatekeeper follows Banjo's orders and escorts them to the house where they'll stay. I thought we were looking for a crystal. Wow, that looks like Anya's house. After welcoming his guests to a vacant house, the gatekeeper presents them with clean towels. However, Anya's attention is directed elsewhere.
what?
There we go. What's going on here? This living room looks exactly like mine.
You see.
I had one of the houses built just like yours, so you could feel more at home. You're always welcome here, Anya.
So?
Other people who live in this town. I've never heard of Lazuel before. Only a few humans were worthy enough to be chosen as my guards, but you should expect more Undines here instead. Lazuel is a home where my fellow merfolk can return in the afterlife. Wow. Ancient Aquadine first, then Lazuel? Even after all that's happened, you can't bring yourself to let go?
No.
It is my responsibility. I had all the power required to protect my people, but I failed. The least I could do is give them a place where they could rest. Anya realizes what Levios truly meant when he said this house was made to look like her own. All Levios ever wanted was to give the merfolk a place to stay, even now when the entire species is extinct. Master Levios and I have important matters to discuss, but please make yourself at home. I have food delivered shortly. Carry me, gatekeeper. I've done an exercise for a month. Yes, master. The gatekeeper barely manages to get a grip on the cat and walks away, leaving the teenagers to do as they please. once barren Laswell is swimming with undines everywhere, enough to brighten the entire town like floating suns. They gleefully dance together over their reflections in the water. This is truly the home of the undines. Okay, so we've got 18 achievements left of my being dive. Three of which will be here, so then we'll have 15 that we just need to find in the next couple of days, because I want to finish it before I start doing promo games. So
Interesting.
wow, I've never seen this many undines in Aquadine. You're right. A few occasionally appear near the water at night, but this is completely different. I wonder if I'll also become a beautiful undine when I die. Isn't it a bit early to talk about that? Besides, you're already beautiful just the way you are.
What?
Beautiful? Sorry, it's become a habit now. Quite a few customers seem to like it when I talk like that.
How annoying.
Sounds like a womanizer, if you ask me.
Really?
I'll keep that in mind, but my compliment wasn't a lie. You're not being fair. My dad never called me beautiful, but I'm glad that at least CL, no Robin, sees me this way. Usually when I say things like this, I'm not completely sincere about it. It's pretty easy to figure out what each customer wants, so I give them just enough to satisfy them. Anya, on the other hand, seems different from the other girls I've met. Is it because she already knows who I really am, or is it because we share a lot in common? Not sure, but what I do know is that there isn't an awkward distance between us anymore. Tonight, I meant what I said. There's just something about her that makes me want to follow her. It hasn't changed ever since we met at the shore.
Robin.
What are you going to do if we find the crystals and they work? My mum promised we'd skull together after she feels better. I want to create new memories with my family. Thanks for coming here with me, Anya. This wouldn't have been possible without you.
Well.
That was nothing, really? Anya blushes and looks away after seeing Ciel's bright smile. She doesn't seem to mind his company as they share the spectacle together. After a good night's rest, Ciel slowly opens his eyes and gazes above at an unfamiliar ceiling. He doesn't see Anya around. That's right, I'm not in Aquadine right now. As he nearly falls back asleep, Ciel grabs a hold of something squishy. What am I touching? It feels so soft and warm. Ciel squeezes it again. You should look before you squeeze things, dude.
Could it be?
Could it be? Especially if it's a cat. That's my butt, you fool. Quit squishing it. Sorry about that. Your place, commoner. Only the finest of beauties are permitted to caress my gluteus maximus.
Oh?
Oh, you mean like this? Not the tail, not the tail! I still own you, remember? From now on, you will call me master.
Fool.
I'd rather die. Ciel grips it even tighter to the point where Banjo is forced to submit. A little paw is tapping out constantly on the mattress. Please, forgive me, master. Let go of my tail. Ciel gladly releases its grip after asserting his dominance, leaving the fat cat to lick her wounds. I don't think it works that way, but sure. My poor tail.
Wow.
What's all the commotion about?
As a matter of fact.
Banjo has pledged her loyalty to me. I can order her to make breakfast if you like. Well, my servant already prepared it. I just need someone to carry it in my seat. Because you can't jump? Well, aren't you a little chubby?
Fool.
Shut up, I don't need your pity. Just hurry up and do as I say. All right. Ciel and Anya notice a bowl filled to the brim with cat milk, and it's placed at the end of the table. Banjo is clearly trying to remind them who's the head of this household, even though Ciel struggles to lift from the chair. Once everyone gets settled, they dig into their breakfast. It's been bogging my mind since last night, but Laswell is more developed than I expected.
You see.
Some of my loyal servants are quite skilled, and we've had many years to create this secret town. The gatekeeper you met today occasionally takes the submarine back to Aquadine to restock supplies.
What?
Wait, you guys have a submarine? Why didn't we use that to get here? It's being repaired, but I figured you'd want to find those crystals as soon as possible. Besides, I got to see you struggle the entire trip here. It was how you say, worth it.
Really?
You really made us swim all the way here just for that. You could at least lend us some extra clothes.
Meow.
Why, I thought you liked staring at Ciel's body. You did it for quite some time while he was still asleep. Anya's cheeks turn red as she looks away. She remains speechless and doesn't attempt to deny Banjo's accusation. Ciel also blushes upon seeing Anya's reaction as he begins to realise she may have feelings for him.
You see.
Most of the residents here are Andines anyway, so ordinary human clothing was never a priority for me. Of course, if you're willing to bow down to me, I may spare an extra old robe or two. Why do we worship this god again?
Well.
Because he gave some humans some food a long time ago? You mean the same god who looks for things to eat all day? Disrespectful child, I should have left your ancestors to perish. But you are my ancestor. I meant the other side of the family. Banjo lost the argument in spectacular fashion, but she takes her mind off it by finishing her meal. The others do the same before heading out for the day. Banjo leads everyone outside, where they notice a pillar of white light beaming from the centre of town. As they hurry over, Ciel and Anya see his servant standing patiently beside it.
Wow.
What's up with this light? Sure knows how to stick out like a sore thumb.
You see.
That'd be the gate itself.
What?
Wait, the light is a gate? Correct. It's usually sealed, but with Levios's help, we've reactivated the portal for this occasion. Once you step inside this light, you'll be teleported to the ruins of ancient Aquadine. The true Aquadine. Sorry, the true Aquadine. The back of Ciel's hand touches Anya's and catches her by surprise. She recalls, naturally. You want to hold hands? Of course. Well, unless you want me to drown. Right, I wasn't thinking. Are you feeling okay?
I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm just a little anxious. Same here. I can't wait to see the underwater ruins with my own eyes. Me too. Now I shall take my well-deserved nap. If you need anything, the gatekeeper will remain here. With their hands locked, Ciel and Anya walk together until they disappear into the glowing portal. Ciel and Anya slowly open their eyes as the overwhelming light disperses, and they find themselves underwater once more. Their feet are no longer touching the ground, while one of them no longer has feet. Despite never visiting ancient Aquadine before, they've seen enough dreams to know that they've arrived.
Interesting.
This looks exactly like my dream. Yeah, to finally be here in person feels unreal. Banjo did say it's going to be hard to find the crystals, so we might be here for a while. Where should we look first?
Actually,
According to Levios's story, Juna's death in particular showered large amounts of aquamarine over ancient Aquadine. Since so much time has passed, it's possible that some of the crystals have grown. I see, the ruins prevented them from reaching the bottom of the ocean, so maybe we'll have a better look in open areas. Exactly. Without straying too far from the portal, Anya and Ciel look around places where seagrass is growing. Bushes of red and yellow stand out in this deep blue world. The contrast could help them spot the crystals easier if they are nearby. Unfortunately, they come up short after searching for some time.
well,
Looks like we only found a few tiny shards, but I doubt this is anywhere near enough. Any ideas?
As a matter of fact.
Since this used to be a civilization, I'm sure the merfolk kept some crystals stashed away for emergencies. Finding their hospital could be our best bet.
maybe.
Not a bad theory, let's put it to the test. Anya and Ciel swim towards the centre of the kingdom, but because it's so grand, they're not quite sure where to begin. The towering buildings themselves can give anyone an idea of how magnificent ancient Aquadine once was, even in its present state. Why don't they ask the Undines? It almost feels like we're in a video game, going around buildings and opening boxes for treasure.
Wow.
Like one of those role-playing games where you kill animals for money and take things from other people's houses. All to level up and wear better equipment, right? You made them sound a lot worse for what they are, but yeah. At least no one lives there anymore, so we're free to explore as much as we want. It's still fascinating to see their architecture, though. I never imagined we'd see ancient Aquadine in person. Even though I could never find this place, I was born a mermaid. That all alone convinced me that the world was real.
Robin.
Anyway, I think we're about done with this building. Why don't we move on to the next one?
Sure.
Sounds like a plan. Anya and Ciel swim over to a neighbouring building, which happens to be even larger than the one they were previously in. Despite the poor condition of these ruins, multiple rooms and floors seem to be intact. Not sure exactly what this building was used for, but it looked important. Seeing how it's one of the bigger ones, I see that's a safe bet. True, but I think it's interesting how much of their architecture isn't too different from buildings designed for humans. It kind of makes sense if you think about it. The merfolk spent many years living with humans before Levios made this kingdom. He wanted to build a home where they could all live comfortably. They used to live peacefully together, right? It's sad that that changed.
Well,
Merfolks and humans are two completely different species, after all. Some could say discrimination was inevitable, and it's still the same nowadays. People get judged by all things. There are things all the time, like age, gender, disability, ethnicity, you name it. They're also focused on appearances, but I believe everyone is weird in their own way. That's probably what makes each person. That's probably what makes each person. I can't word. Probably what makes each person special.
Sure.
Right, I'm fortunate to meet many different people during my tours. Locals, tourists, even a talking cat. Not only am I showing them around, I get to learn about their lives and where they've been. It's one of the reasons why my mum loved giving tours so much. A cracked mirror barely hangs on a wall where Ciel gazes at his shattered reflection. Anya notices and looks concerned. I think it's great that there are all kinds of people out there, similar or different. Sharing things in common helps them relate to each other, so they can form relationships. Of course, life would be boring if everyone was exactly the same, we'd all want the same future. There wouldn't be a difference in opinions nor anything new to learn about each other, but I will say this. Wish there were more people like you, Anya.
Well,
If we have time to chat, we should be putting more effort into finding those crystals. After their conversation ends, they move on to the next few rooms in silence. However, the thoughts running through Anya's mind are anything but quiet. She grips Ciel's hand just a bit tighter. I wish there were more people like you too. I usually hate talking to people, but you're the only one I can open up to. There's just something different about you, Robin.
Over here.
Anya, over here, I think I found some crystals.
actually,
No, those look good. The crystals already lost their shine, which means they've probably been used. Oh, I see it now. Sorry, my eye's getting blurry.
maybe.
Should we take a break?
Don't worry.
Don't worry about me, I can keep going. Ciel and Anya resume their search with high hopes of finding the crystals. Despite their lack of success, they haven't given up quite yet. The sun is beginning to set and the cold blue sea looks warm for once. Anya and Ciel have grown tired after searching for hours. Any luck on your end?
Wow.
You're literally right next to me. If I found it, you'd know by now. Right, why don't we call it a day?
Robin.
What you're talking about? We still haven't found it yet. I mean, we've been looking all day and I feel bad about having you spend so much time for me. Don't worry about me, I have my reasons, remember? Just then, Anya notices something concealed under one of the fallen pillars. Something giving off the faintest shine. I think I see something.
Could it be?
They swim a bit deeper to take a better look at the lone crystal resting on the seafloor. Ciel picks it up and notices a glow unlike the other crystals they found. Despite how late it's gotten, the gatekeeper continues to wait patiently for his guest's return. Fortunately, it doesn't take much longer before Ciel and Anya appear walking out of the white light. Welcome back, how goes the search? See for yourself? Ah, so this is an aquamarine crystal. I'm surprised you managed to find it. They're extremely rare nowadays, I've never even seen one before until now.
Why, yes.
It's all thanks to Anya. I couldn't have found it without her help. The crystal's shine suddenly starts to fade, which shocks everyone. Ciel's heart sinks as he watches the light continue to dim. What's this? The magic is fading?
What?
It's fading. That's impossible. We can't use this one. Where's Banjo? Master Levios is currently at the house where you two are staying. We need to hurry.
Robin.
Robin, are you okay? Sorry, I'm fine. Oh, Ciel and Anya quickly leave for the house while the gatekeeper stays behind to guard the portal. However, a single word catches his attention. Robin? The gatekeeper is going to be his dad! As soon as Ciel and Anya return, they show the crystal to Banjo and explain what's happening. Unfortunately, the little magic it had left is already gone. It appears the aquamarine crystals lose their magic once they're removed from the ocean.
Enough.
Why didn't you tell us? You of all people should have known this.
Fool.
Calm yourself, boy. I've never seen anyone attempt to use a crystal on the surface before, so I wouldn't have even known.
Well,
The crystals were only used by the merfolk, and since they lived in the ocean, this problem never occurred. Then what am I supposed to do? I've tried everything, but nothing ever works out. You'll need to find a new crystal.
What?
A new one? What's the point? It'll be useless like this one. No, you'll need to bring something else with you. What you require now is some sort of container, specifically designed to retain magic.
Oh?
Do you have one? Only a skilled sorcerer can create such a thing, but in this day and age it's impossible to find one.
maybe.
So we can't just fill something with water and use that?
You see.
No guarantee it'll work. I can't imagine it being as effective as a magic container, though. As you know, finding another crystal nowadays isn't an easy feat. We were so close. What do you plan to do, boy? I'll just go back to giving tours. That's the only thing I can do now. Robin has given up. He's done everything he could for his mum, but doesn't know where else to go. I've never seen him look so defeated.
Thank you.
Thank you for your help, Anya. I really do appreciate it. Anna's fake smile again. There has to be something I can do for him, but what? Anya calms down so she can consider how they can approach this issue. She seems determined to keep hope alive.
Actually,
Wait a second. What about the jar from the Aqua Temple? Could we use that?
Could it be?
Could that actually work? I assume the aquamarine could hold its own magic, which is why I never thought about it. When I last examined the jar, I recall there were small traces of aquamarine that kept their shine. Perhaps that relic is still capable of retaining magic. Did you find other jars during your search?
well,
Yes, but they were all cracked or shattered, and all of them looked quite like the one from the Aqua Temple, though. Seems your best chance would be to use that relic after all, but I warn you there's no guarantee it'll work. It's only a theory.
Sure.
As long as there is a chance, we'll have to suck it up and find another crystal. Stay for dinner. I will arrange for one of my servants to take you home afterwards. Anya looks at Cialan again and notices he seems genuinely hopeful. He takes a much-needed rest until it's time for dinner. After the gatekeeper gave him a ride home in the submarine, Cialan and Anya are stretching themselves. I can't wait to go back to Laswell. All we need is a relic and we're set.
Robin.
Try to get some sleep, Oki. I know you're anxious, but we'll secure a good crystal this time.
Thank you.
Thanks again for all your help, Anya. None of this would have been possible without you.
Well,
It's not over yet. There's still plenty we need to do together. I know, that's why I'm going to the Aqua Temple tonight.
what?
Tonight? Let me come with you.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about me. It's not like I'll have to dive again. Besides, you should get some sleep too. Let me walk you home. Okay. Anya couldn't refuse his offer since it's gone late. Even though she prefers to be with him longer, she can at least cherish this moment. Anya meets up with Diana the following morning so they could walk to school together. However, there's something different about Diana's demeanour, and she suggests they go to the gym to talk in private. You wanted to talk to me about something? What were you doing with Ciel? Huh? Were you lying about hanging with Robin? Diana saw us together. Did she see me transform? Talk to me, Anya. We're friends, and you know how long I've liked Ciel. Don't know if I can lie anymore now that she's seen this much, but can I trust her? Then again, Diana's always been there for me, and she never really cared about how weird I am. No matter how many times I brushed her aside, and she always came back with a big smile. Most people would have given up on me, but Diana never did. And it's not just her. I had fun hanging out with Cameron and Leatherbutter too. And Robin, he's the one that taught me that it's so key to trust people. Because of him, I've become more comfortable around others. I don't want to run away anymore. It's about time for me to start trusting my friends, and that's why.
Actually,
I want to tell you something, Diana, but if I do, promise me you won't tell anyone else, okay? Okay. Robin is Ciel. Diana has left. That's not your secret to tell. I thought you were going to tell us you were a mermaid. That's not your secret to tell. Diana is left speechless as she stares back into Anya's eyes to see if it's a joke. A few seconds pass before she utters a word. You're kidding me. There's no way Four Eyes could be Ciel. I mean, the way he talks and acts is so different. Whether or not you believe me is up to you. But I won't lie to you anymore because you're my friend. Then, how do you feel about him? And there it is. The question even Anya, the top student of her grade, struggles to answer. Her sketchbook used to be filled with the places she visited, but not anymore. Recent drawings of a certain boy tell a new story. Finally, she somehow musters up the courage to utter a few words.
well,
I like him.
oh,
Was that? Didn't quite hear you. I like him, okay? I really like him. Can't stop thinking about him anymore. I can't stand not being around him anymore. I want to hold his hand. I want to see new places with him. I've never felt this way with anyone before. You had it. I knew you had it in you. You're not upset? Why would I be? You're finally being honest with yourself.
Well,
I mean, sure, it kind of sucks since we both had our eyes on the same guy, but even I can see you've changed since you met him. Now that you're a little more confident, I bet you new doors will open up for you. Just as she says that, the doors literally open as Robin enters the gym. Anya's eyes turn towards his direction, surprised to see him right after she confessed her love.
Anya.
There you are. I need to talk to you privately. What for?
Robin.
I've always felt it. Sorry. I've already finished my business, so she's all yours, handsome.
what?
All his? What's that supposed to mean?
Later.
Just missing me all as usual. Catch you later. Diana waves with a bright smile as she sees them off. However, her expression changes to a slightly disappointed one. Her cousin comes to check on her.
Incredible.
Hey, Jesus Christ, that wasn't your secret to tell. So, Robin and Ciel, huh? Who would have thought? You shouldn't be eavesdropping on people, cuz it's not like you. Don't want to hear that from a hypocrite like you. This whole time I've been pushing them together without knowing he was Ciel. Guess I had it coming. You did well to hold in your emotions. You've matured, Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what are you talking about? I was rooting for her the whole time. It's okay. You can let it all out now. Can I borrow your shoulder, cuz?
Yeah.
Just don't get any of your snot on it. Diana cries over Cameron's shoulder and blows her nose into the sleeve, completely ignoring the request. Ew. If another celebrity ended up with Ciel, I could accept it since he's too good for me. But I never would have thought Anya would get so close to him. You underestimated her, Diana, but now that you know about Anya's feelings, what will you do? Isn't that obvious? I'll be cheering her on from the sidelines louder than anyone else out there. Even though I've known her since we were kids, I've never seen her look so happy before. She'd always be alone at the beach drawing some stick figures with her cheap old crayons. She'd never go anywhere on her own, which is why I always dragged her around to different places. Anya used to hate talking to people, but she's changed lately. She's opening up more and smiling like a normal gal. I could never take that away from her. After all, she's my best friend. Aww, that's really mature of you. Or, not quite the word I want, but yes. Diana manages to crack a genuine smile after wiping away her tears. Cameron consoles her as they leave the gym together. Robin and Anya are walking side by side towards their classroom. It's still a bit early, so they hardly see anyone else along the way.
Robin.
I have something to confess to you. I told Diana your secret.
What?
You told her, but why? She told me together with Ciel at the beach, but I thought I was going with Robin. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Well, you didn't have much of a choice then, but please don't tell anyone else. All the people you could have told, you sure picked a loud one.
Well.
Sorry, I'll be more careful next time. I'm glad that Anya is opening up more, though. She's grown so much in the short amount of time I've known her. Maybe I can learn to trust other people more, too. Anyway, you said you needed to talk to me in private, right? Yes, I went to the Aqua Temple last night to retrieve the jar, but it was missing.
What?
You're kidding? Do you think the old sailors might know something?
As a matter of fact.
Maybe it disappeared along with the doctor. Well, I asked my grandpa about it this morning, but he didn't know. Maybe I could check with Mr. Norton after class. Hopefully we'll get some answers. If we don't find that jar, then I know. Robin and Anya head inside the classroom together, careful not to utter another word in case other students show up. Sorry, I just remembered I was supposed to send something. To my mum. That I keep forgetting to do, so I'm just going to do it very quickly now. Right. Oh, okay. After school bell sounds, Mr. Norton dismisses the class while wrapping up the session for the day. After all the other students leave, Robin and Anya approach him. Mr. Norton, do you have a minute?
What's going on?
Well, if it isn't Romeo and No-Show, what's going on? We wanted to ask you about something. Advice on romance? You've come to the right guy.
Well.
We're not here to talk about that. I'm just messing with your kids. What did you really want to talk about? We just had some questions about the Aqua Temple. Ah, that takes me back. I remember spending my last days as a sailor getting that relic. It's a final mission for many of us.
As a matter of fact.
That's just it. It's missing. What? Do you know through all the trouble we went through to get it? I know all too well, Mr. Norton. That's why we're trying to find it.
Almost forgot.
That reminds me. A woman's been showing up occasionally after school, an alumni by the name of Anne Woodman. She's had a lot of interest in ancient Aquadine lately, so maybe she can help. I'll ask Weasel and the others to keep an eye out.
See you around.
I have a meeting to get to, so I'll see your kids later. Unfortunately, Mr. Norton leaves without providing any sufficient answers or clues to the relic's whereabouts. Us is terrible. We need to find that jar as soon as possible.
Anya.
Are you free after school? There's someone I'd like you to meet.
Hmm?
Who are you talking about? It's a secret. Robin keeps his word and leads Anya curious, but once she learns where they're heading, it's no surprise. The hospital? Yeah. Even without any nurses or visitors around, Tori is still trying her best to read. But as she flips to the next page, her attention is drawn towards the sound of the doorknob. A pair of footsteps walk inside, leaving Tori curious over whose visitors are. But with limited vision, she can only take a guess. So this is Robin's mum. I haven't met her in person before, but she really is pretty.
Robin.
Is that you?
How are you?
Yes, it's me. How are you doing? Just catching up on some reading, and who do we have here? This is my classmate, Anya Talley.
How are you?
Nice to meet you, Anya. It's not every day that Robin invites a girl over.
Well.
Just being a visit.
Oh?
Are you two dating?
What?
Dating? Mom, cut it out. Are you going to ask me this whenever I bring a girl to see you? If you're into boys, that's fine too. You're free to love whoever you like. I don't swing that way. Anya lets out a burst of laughter in the middle of their conversation, which catches Robin off guard.
Oh?
You laughing? No, I was just yawning. Whatever you say. Just then, someone else turns the doorknob before stepping inside.
Oh.
Hello, how are you feeling, Rory? I feel a bit better today, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will check it with you shortly, and it appears we have a new face today. This is my classmate, Anya. I was wondering if I could have a brief chat with you before leaving. Sure, why don't we step outside? Tori's smile disappears shortly after they leave the room. She pulls out her book, but doesn't open it this time. Everyone else steps into the near empty hallway so they could carry on with their conversation.
By the way.
Have you found any crystals yet? You know about them?
Anya.
Anya, this is Dr. Woodman. Not only does she do regular checkups for my mum, she's also quite interested in merfolk herself. You could say that I'm a believer at this point. Here is the crystal we found yesterday. This won't do. It already lost its magic. Humans normally shouldn't be able to tell the difference, but there are other signs that indicate whether a crystal has been used. Unfortunately, I don't have pretty eyes like you two. Thanks? You're the mermaid, aren't you? Dr. Woodman's bold yet accurate accusation leaves Robin speechless. Anya, on the other hand, is shivering in fear. I had the nail on the head, didn't I?
What?
How did you know? I don't think we've met until now.
Actually.
I've seen you before. It was a few years ago by the shore when you were in your mermaid form. You can't hide how young you are, regardless of which form you take. The same goes for your eye colour. The fact that you helped him acquire this crystal is enough to tell me you're no ordinary girl. Who would have thought our visit would backfire like this? We only wanted to find the relic, but now Anya's secret has been exposed. If word gets out, her life will be in danger. I'm sure you both already knew this crystal wouldn't work, so I'll get straight to the point. I have the relic.
What?
You had it the whole time? We need it.
I understand.
You can have it, but on one condition. I want to accompany you on this journey. If she has to hold on to two hands, she's not got enough hands for everything. You want to come with us, but what for?
You see.
I want to see ancient Aquadine for myself. I never thought it'd be possible to lay eyes on the ruins until now. You probably wanted to keep it a secret, so I promised not to tell anyone. Anya and Robin are shocked yet puzzled by Dr. Woodman's proposal. However, neither of them could give an immediate response. They may need to speak to their favourite cat first. Anya and Robin are just leaving the hospital and it's already getting late. Both of them seem concerned about their recent conversation.
Well.
What do you think about letting Dr. Woodman come? To be honest, I don't see much of a choice. She has the relic, which may be the only thing that could save my mum. She also knows your secret, but I don't think she's the type of person who'd take advantage of that, though. Either way, we need to be careful.
Robin.
I don't know if we can trust her, and we can't really let her come without Banjo's permission. The problem is we don't have any way to contact them, and there isn't any time either. The gatekeeper is bringing the submarine tomorrow. I know, but something's been bothering me. How did Dr. Woodman really know the crystal lost its magic when she didn't have the eyes?
Oh?
She said there was another sign, right? Yeah, she never really explained that, and how did she know that we needed the relic? I'm not sure. All I know is Dr. Woodman has been reading up on ancient Aquadine and she's been spot on so far.
Actually.
A lot of those books are misleading or just not true, though. You haven't been telling anything, have you? Maybe a little.
What?
Ben.
I'm sorry.
This was back when we hardly had any leads. She's been doing a lot of research on her own, but I never told her about you. Alright, but we can't just act on our own. How about we bring Dr. Woodman to the beach and explain the situation to the gatekeeper there? That's our only option, but there's no guarantee she'll keep the secrets to herself regardless. I know. Robin walks Anya home before it gets dark. They continue to wrap their head around Dr. Woodman's request and how Banjo will take it. On the following night, Ciel and Anya are waiting with Dr. Woodman for the submarine to arrive. Despite how Empty the beach is, it certainly isn't quiet. Ciel just shared his biggest secret after all.
Really?
Who would have thought that you were Ciel? That's a big surprise. I was wondering how you were getting your income, but it makes sense now. You really are like your mum. Thanks, but please don't tell anyone else. Robin, could I talk to you for a second? Anya and Ciel are so wary of Dr. Woodman, so they leave briefly to talk in private. Is everything okay?
Well,
Why did you come dressed as Ciel? The servants in Laswell know me as Ciel, which is why I have to keep it consistent. They hardly ever go to Aquadine. You just expose your secret for nothing. You've got a point, but the gatekeeper would have mentioned Ciel anyway if I came as Robin.
Don't worry.
Just in case your secret gets leaked, mine will be vulnerable as well.
what?
You did it for me.
Why, yes.
Do the same for me, right? You've supported me all this time, even now. Of course, especially after I got to know you and your mum better. I want to help you however I can. It's not just about me trying to become human now, it's more than that.
Robin.
There's something else I want to tell you. Before Anya could finish, a small submarine emerges out of the water. Dr. Woodman is already running towards it. I think he's here. As the gatekeeper gets out of the submarine, he notices the anxious doctor look before looking at the two teenagers. Hello there, you must be the gatekeeper. What is the meaning of this? Our meeting was supposed to be secret. Robin and Anya explain everything that happened yesterday. With the identity of the last mermaid at risk, the gatekeeper has to make a decision. I mean, just kidnap her and hold her hostage. I understand. The situation, if my master forbids this, I will take responsibility and return her immediately. Everyone boards the submarine and takes their seats. I wanted to see the submarine! However, the gatekeeper doesn't seem comfortable letting Dr. Woodman on board. Ciel and Anya are sitting in the back, while Dr. Woodman turns around to chat with them. I've never been in a submarine until today. You two must have had quite the trip.
Why, yes.
Maybe she's a witch. I don't know. She had the whole glowy relic thing, so maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's like Ursu or something. Or maybe related to, I don't know. Pretty cool, isn't it? This is our second time riding it, but we swam there before.
Really?
Is it close by?
As a matter of fact.
It's actually quite far, even for Anya, but before we could even see ancient Aquadine, we had to go through a place called Laswell. Laswell? I've never heard of it. Laswell serves as a gate to ancient Aquadine, but it's also a sight to see. If it weren't so hidden, I'd recommend it to more people. Do not speak about this. My master has not accepted her yet. You're right. Sorry about that. Gods, yeah. Maybe you're too used to giving tours. I'm sure there shouldn't be any problems, Mr. Gatekeeper. Just call me Gatekeeper. More importantly, why you were so interested in seeing ancient Aquadine. Wouldn't anyone be? People debated for years whether it even existed. After all, this is big news. Whatever you see must not be shared.
I understand.
I won't. People wouldn't believe me anyway unless they figure out how to get through Laswell first. Meanwhile, Anya smiles as she quietly gazes at the vast blue sea from her window. Did you bring the pot with you, though? What have you? It feels weird that I'm not swimming out there, though.
Robin.
How about we hop out and go for a swim? It'll be fun.
Really?
Thanks, but I'll pass. Not exactly in the mood to swim for hours again. Maybe with enough practice, you might even grow your own tail. Sounds like you two are having a lot of fun back there. It takes me back to my high school days. Oh yeah, not Dr. Norton. Mr. Norton told you that were your alumni at our school? That's right. Ciel's mum used to go there, and I was at upperclassman at the time. Sometimes we talk about our high school days and how much things have changed since then.
Oh?
If you were in different years, how did you know my mum?
You see.
Even back in the day, everyone knew Tori. She was an up-and-coming gondolier, known for being one of the nicest people you ever meet. All the boys fell head over heels for her, including that guy I liked at the time.
Wow.
High school drama. After Susan and I found out she already liked someone, we used to tease her all the time. He was a sailor from Silver. A sailor? From Silver? Anyway, we should focus on finding that crystal. You promised you'd go with your mum again, right? Yeah. Everyone enjoys the rest of the ride before they reach Laswell. But for some reason, less sea creatures are around compared to last time. It's almost as if they're avoiding them. Okay, I don't trust the doctor. The gatekeeper is definitely his dad. And maybe he didn't remember what happened, or maybe he's like obligated to stay because of the relic thing. Banjo guards the entrance of Laswell and constantly glares over at the moonlit reflection until her eyes twitch. Nope. It's Twitch. Her servant has returned. You've kept me waiting, gatekeeper. Have you brought my snacks? Forgive me, master. An unexpected issue came up, so I didn't have the time to buy them. Fool, useless fool. That was the mission, your utmost priority. My apologies. Next time I go into town, I will also buy us some lasagna. Lasagna? Yes, master. From that pizzeria you sang praises of, correct? Very well. I shall forgive you this time, but this is your final warning. Thank you, master. It won't happen again. So what is this issue you speak of? The gatekeeper makes way for the visitor he brought on board, and Banjo is left stunned. Yep. It's been a while, Levios. You've certainly changed since the last time I saw you.
It can't be.
You monster, what are you doing here? Oh, I reckon Spirit was in the jar, possessed the doctor. Because it's very unlikely that the doctor was actually Rosso the whole time. To exact my revenge! Without wasting another word, Dr. Woodman runs into town as fast as possible. Stop her! She's after the portal! But master, the portal is already sealed. Just do as I say! Hurry! Yes, master. The gatekeeper rushes to the portal in a hurry, leaving the others in a state of panic. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd see her again. What's going on? Dr. Woodman is acting completely different than before.
You see.
There's no ordinary human. See, told you possessed. I sense a familiar spirit residing in her, but there's no try to explain. We must follow her. Right. Everyone hurries over to the center of town, but as soon as they see the portal's light, they realize it's too late. Impossible. She opened the portal on her own. CL and the others show up just behind the gatekeeper while Banjo takes charge. We have to trap her inside. Anya, come with me. All right.
Oh?
Wait, what about me? Stay back. You'll only get in our way.
Robin.
We'll be fine, Robin, I promise. Right, but be careful. CL watches with concern as Anya and Banjo experience the portal. The jar must have contained Oros' spirit. It's gotten too dark to search thoroughly underwater, but a few Undine are swimming along. They're portraying ancient Aquadine in many vibrant colours, just bright enough to light up the ruins. She's nowhere in sight. Shall we split up? No, we must stay together. She could be anywhere by now, so stay cautious. Is she looking for the crystals? Oops. No, if she's searching for anything here, it'll most likely be my trident. My enemies often seek it because that's where my power lies. With it, one could command the creatures of the sea and even summon storms at will. She wasn't able to open the portal on her own. I would have sealed her here. The sudden sound of a rock slide catches Anya and Banjo by surprise. It's further ahead where more of the ruins are. What was that noise? It came from the bridge over there. Follow me. Anya and Banjo swim towards the bridge that's barely still standing. Its columns are either completely broken or covered in crevices. As they drift closer, they see a mysterious woman with black octopus legs who's giving off an ominous aura. I thought so. You're the same sea demon I sealed away many centuries ago.
Are you sure?
Sea demon, huh? It's been so long since you called me that, but it still hurts. We used to be close, after all. Enough with your lies. I don't know what you're talking about. Around the time when I came along, wasn't there a mermaid that went missing? Yes, she was a dear friend of mine until you were accused of eating her. Maybe I would have thought the same back then, but what if she wasn't eaten? Then where was she?
Remember.
A mermaid disappears at the same time a demon appears. What else could it be?
It can't be.
Impossible. Are you telling me that you are us?
Ah.
Bingo. I tried to tell you so many times back then, but none of you listened.
Prove it.
Your favourite food is lasagna.
What have I done?
Is that clear?
Everyone knows that. I have returned, Your Majesty. But how did you become a sea demon? This does not appear to be a case of Enderbeer.
Listen.
Perhaps if I tell you, you may understand why I seek the trident. I never had a chance to tell you this, but back then I loved you. I always did, and that will never change, even now. Right. I'm just going to take a brief break, and then we will have the story of the sea demon. I'll be back. Never had a chance to tell you this, but back then I loved you. Always did. And that will never change even now. You were charming, handsome, and charismatic. Most importantly, you were our savior. After those wretched humans broke their promise, you were the only one we could turn to. I felt like I could always rely on you. I wanted to tell you my feelings, but everyone knew you only had eyes for Juno. That was why I disobeyed your rule and swam to the surface in secret. I'm sorry. During our time with the humans, I had learned about an old sorceress who had spells and potions for just about everything. She recommended a love potion and promised that you'd finally notice me. She even said I'd gain new powers, but I never knew this was what she meant. The potion was actually a curse, which turned me into what I am now. I didn't want anyone to see me, especially you, Lelius. I became a monster. That is why I locked myself in my home for days. Knowing Juno, she came to check on me because she was worried. I told her to go away, but she wouldn't listen. Then our eyes met. I remember the look on her face when she saw me. Her bright smile I once knew showed nothing but fear. Everyone came to see what happened when Juno cried for help, but their faces were the same. They were all afraid of me. I tried to tell them that it was me, but my plea fell on deaf ears. They only saw me as a sea demon. I was shunned by my own peers, just like other humans discriminated us. I thought if anyone would listen to me, it'd be you. Surely the man who won me over would help, but I was wrong. You froze me with your trident and locked me away in a prison. It was then that I wished to die. I lost everything. Many years passed before I finally thawed out. Despite all that's happened, I still loved you. I thought maybe you'd give me a chance to clear up the misunderstanding and help me turn back into a mermaid. But I saw our kingdom in ruins with no one around. I was speechless and frustrated at the same time. The destruction could only be the work of humans. They were the ones who broke our promise. They were the ones who discriminated us and forced us out of our homes. Many of them even threatened to hurt us. That is why I won't stop until they're eliminated. For cursing me and destroying our home, my restless spirit craves for revenge. I will never forgive them. You have taken a host body for that reason? Yes, I died as a greater spirit due to the potion's side effects. That meant I could also enter host bodies, but there was a condition. You had to be a woman with a broken heart. After I died, my spirit was forced into the very jar that cursed me. But one day I caught a break. Dr. Woodman could only watch in astonishment as light continues to radiate from the relic. Why do you pity that woman?
Really?
Is the relic talking? Deep down, I sense that you seek something to calm the restless emotion residing within you. Would it be envy? That's not true. What could I possibly feel envious of? Your heart still wavers, does it not? Even if you try to forget those painful memories, I can feel it. Who are you? After hearing countless stories from the stand, it seems you people often refer to me as the curse's voice.
Oh.
You're the voice who spoke to the sailors. Correct, and I know about you. What you seek is not friendship. You only stayed close to that former gondolier woman all those years because you wanted to understand what makes her special. You're lying. You don't know anything about me.
Remember?
Loved a man long ago, but he fell for her instead and couldn't accept your feelings. I understand that frustration all too well. How did you know that? I possess the ability to read the hearts of women, broken hearts to be precise, and I know that you've been feeling lonely. It doesn't matter. So much time has passed and he might not even remember me. Why do you wish to learn about the merfolk? It's not just me. The people of Aquadine has debated for decades about whether merfolk and ancient Aquadine really existed. Now that I know so much more, maybe there's a chance to save Tori.
Listen.
That is your professional obligation and nothing else. You're merely using that as an excuse to conceal what you really think of her. You cannot hide your emotions from me. You're wrong. I care about Tori.
Are you sure?
The love of your life only had eyes for them. You've quietly held a grudge against her all this time, even if you refuse to admit it. But what if I told you I have the power to grant your wishes? That you could be with a man you loved? There's no way. It's been so long since those days. Anything is possible. After all, you possess decent knowledge of the merfolk and even saw one for yourself. If you open this jar, I'll promise you'll witness even more magic. The relic radiates once more to put Dr. Woodman in a brief trance, just long enough to obey. She opens it. An octopus spirit emerges and wraps around Dr. Woodman's neck before pulling her to the ground. She slowly regains consciousness, only to find herself immobilized and barely able to breathe. Stop! Let go of me! It's pointless to resist. No one can save you from this. Dr. Woodman cries for help, but Aura's spirits silence her. She isn't getting any air and can't escape the hold. Her hand reaches up in hopes that someone will help her before she runs out of breath, but Kane. Aura's spirit immerses herself straight into Dr. Woodman's body, and it doesn't take much longer before it's completely possessed.
Ah.
It feels good to have flesh and bones again. Dr. Woodman. Levios, in your current state, you cannot punish the humans for what they've done, but I can. If I could borrow your trident, I will do as you say and eliminate them.
What?
Eliminate them? Urus, you are misunderstanding something. As much as I despise those damn humans, they did not destroy our kingdom. If the humans didn't exist, could you still say it would have come to this? You must let go, or seeking revenge will not change this outcome. Even after sharing everything, I thought you of all people would understand.
Listen.
You see, this relic was actually the container that held the sorceress's potion. It kept my spirit body hidden for years, so it should work perfectly for those aquamarine crystals. I no longer need it. How about a trade? The trident for the jar. A cheat.
Well,
What's the matter, girl? If you want a chance at saving your boyfriend's mother, you'll need this. Boyfriend? Aura, stop this at once. Even though you chose to settle for peace, I cannot stand for it. I will not rest until they're destroyed.
Fool.
You will never have the trident. And then you leave me with no other choice. And Anya and Bando brace himself as Urus gets in position to strike. What's going on? It's taking them so long. Be patient. All we can do is wait. Maybe I can help them look. Stop. It's too dangerous.
Enough.
It's dangerous for Anya, too. What if she gets hurt? I still have the eyes, right? I can't just sit here and do nothing. And then what? Without one of them next to you, you'll drown. I can stay near the portal and come back whenever I need a breath. What a stubborn kid. Is that girl important to you? Yes, I really owe her for all she's done for me. If it weren't for her, none of this would even have been possible. She's given me so much hope. That it was I've always been afraid of losing. Up until now, I've been working as a part-time gondolier to save up for my mum's hospital bills. I am sorry to hear that. It must have been hard on you all these years.
Don't worry.
That's not completely true. Even though I'm working for my mum's sake, I do enjoy giving tours and seeing my customers smile. The gatekeeper steps aside as if he's inviting him to enter the portal. Ciel looks speechless. I'll allow you to scout, but make it quick. Without the mermaid, you won't be able to breathe underwater. Thanks. Ciel hurries into the portal as he's eager to make sure Anya is okay. Oh dear. Ciel holds his breath as he enters ancient Aquadine, cautious that the sea demon could appear at any time. However, the Undines are acting strange. I can barely see thanks to the Undines, but do they seem scared? Ah! Anya! Ciel hurries towards the sound of her nearby voice, only to be stunned by what he's witnessing. Horus is trying to strangle them unconscious. What are you doing here, human? Don't interfere or your life will be mine. Insolent fool, I told you not to come here, boy. Why am I so weak? Anya is suffering in front of me, but I can't do anything. Robin, Waranui, hurry! You really do have feelings for this human boy. You're just like the rest of the merfolk. And if you don't tell me where the trident is, I'll kill him. No. Oh, even if I told you, it's impossible to obtain it. What nonsense do you speak of? Pressure builds up and forces Ciel's mouth open, allowing mouthfuls of water to rush inside until several bubbles fly out. This isn't good. I need air. At this rate, I won't even have to kill you myself. Please, someone help Anya. Your prayer has been heard. Ciel opens his eyes and finds himself transported into another realm, one unlike his previous dreams. A mermaid appears before him.
What?
What happened? I've summoned you here to offer you a contract. Another mermaid? I thought Livio said Anya was the last one. Who are you? I am a Neptu, the spirit that resides within you.
Could it be?
A Neptu? Is that why the Undines were calling me that? A Neptu was inside me the entire time. You seek the power to save that young mermaid, do you not? I do. No hesitation, I like that. Then in exchange for this power, you shall live your life as a merman.
Oh?
Me? A merman? Yes, you will carry on the duties of the rightful heir of the Aquadinian kingdom and restore it. Do you accept? Back to become a merman. How am I supposed to respond to that? Well, I don't have time to worry about myself. Right now I need the power to protect those I care about. That is why. I accept this contract. I'll do whatever it takes to save Anya. Very well. As the former princess of Aquadine, I, a Neptu, W the name. Everyone covers their eyes as a merman with long blue hair emerges from the overwhelming light. He swings the trident around before pointing it towards Urus. He looks fierce and prepares to do battle with Urus.
Enough!
I am Arcelio, Prince of Aquadine, and I command you to release them at once. You became a merman, impossible, and why'd you wield His Majesty's trident? I see Neptune has finally woken from her slumber. After my daughter left our underwater civilization for the surface, I took away her ability to transform in order to protect her. Neptune's immortality was also taken, which is why she died as a human, but even so, she still became a greater spirit. And that is why she continued to live on in the bodies of our bloodline for generations. However, because she was always dormant, our Neptune never took control of a host body like Urus and I have. The fall of my kingdom led me to forfeit my own immortality, but I still had a mere glimmer of hope. I cast away my trident to a Neptune spirit, hoping one of our descendants could potentially be a new merfolk heir. Urus never knew about this because she was sealed away for so long, but now a Neptune has finally chosen a new prince to take the throne. Arciello glares at Urus as he grips his trident a bit tighter. His eyes shine with fury as he's determined to do whatever it takes to save Anya and Banjo. I order you to release them. If you resist, you will be punished.
Are you sure?
No. For someone who was once a human just a second ago, you should talk big. I never would have thought you had the trident all along. Now hand it to me. Ha! Urus thrusts her tentacles towards Arciello without warning, but he barely manages to avoid them as they crush the rubble behind him. Such power, I can't afford to get hit by one of those. She still has hostages, so I have to be careful about how I approach her. And on top of that, she's also using Dr. Woodman's body. I'll need to immobilize her with minimal damage. The rapid flurry of attacks continue, forcing Arciello to swim faster to evade. Just as he finally finds some breathing room, Arciello twirls his trident and points it once more. Urus dives deeper into the ocean where hardly any light reaches it. Even then, he watches her carefully with his aquamarine eyes. His trident now shines brilliantly and emits a majestic aura. As the Prince of Aquadine, I, Arciello, will strike you down. Take this! One by one, bolts of ice magic instantaneously strike down like lightning with remarkable accuracy. Every single attack lands its mark and freezes all of Urus's tentacles, forcing him to release Anya and Banjo.
Enough!
You can't hide from me. Well done, now hand me my trident. Arciello passes the trident back to its rightful owner and leaves the rest to Banjo. Urus has fallen to the sea floor. She's immobilized from her injuries and can't get up. That was a good shot. I underestimated that child.
Fool!
You've gone too far, Urus. Banjo points the trident towards the wounded Urus and stares fiercely into her eyes. I guess this is it? Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, for all the trouble I caused. The fault is mine. If I had listened to you back then, maybe I could have saved you. No, I was too weak to save the rest of the people.
Listen.
Don't say that. You're a great leader who's always had us in your best interests. Even now that our people have become Undines, you made a new home for them to return to. I just couldn't accept this outcome after everything you've done for her. I wanted to be your sword that cuts through everything in your way. Despite learning the humans didn't directly destroy our kingdom, my spirit still yearned for revenge. However, you've made your decision and I can't stop you anymore. No matter what happens to me, I will always love you.
You see.
Fortunately, I cannot return those feelings, I'm sorry. I know, I just wanted to say it after all these years, though I'll admit, it feels weird saying this now that you're a cat. I believe this is farewell. I'll miss you, Your Majesty. As the King of Aquadine and Leviosa, I'll exercise his spirits. The trident grows once more, forcing Urus' spirit to leave Dr. Woodman's body before it slowly vanishes. Goodbye, Your Majesty, and thank you. Goodbye, my friend. Meanwhile, Arcelio waits by Anya's side as she rests in his arms. Hi, Iki. Much to his relief, she slowly opens her eyes and observes her surroundings.
Anya!
Robin.
Is that you? I'm so glad you're okay. What happened? I'll tell you later, but it's all over now. How are you feeling? I'm okay. Just let me stay like this a little longer. All right.
Actually,
I have a little present for you. Anya reveals the relic they've been trying to retrieve from Urus. She somehow managed to get it back on her own.
What?
Relic, but how did you? I stole it from Horus. You couldn't have it, but only on one condition. She leans forward and locks her lips with the prince, catching him by surprise. He closes his eyes and embraces her. His arms wrap around the back of her smooth pale skin as they continue kissing. They seem content with being together in their own world while no one else could bother them. They eventually let go, but their gaze towards one another is different from before. It's more intimate. Anya, I love you. I love you too. You don't know how happy that makes me feel. Thank you. Anya and Arciello lock hands once again. While this was the outcome neither of them expected, the lovers are finally of the same species. All that's left for them is to find another crystal, but they don't seem to be in a hurry. At least not for now. They simply want to cherish this very moment together. Someone want to rescue the doctor so she doesn't, Anya route cleared. Oh, but we didn't find out. Merfolk lovers. Witness the merfolk kiss after they reunite. Okay, well we've done all of the routes. Memories. I spend another night keeping my mum company as we talk about our day. It's been a while since more of my time has been occupied with my girlfriend. Which one?
Robin.
I noticed you've been really interested in merfolk lore lately. Have you learned anything new? Well, do you remember those jellyfish spirits you used to see?
Of course.
Hardly anyone believed me besides you. They're such playful little creatures watching over us.
As a matter of fact.
Apparently they're called Undine. They say those who carry merfolk blood will turn into them in the afterlife. That's really interesting. Where did you learn that? Oh, just one of those books. I don't know if it's actually true, though. No one knows how reliable they are, right? She doesn't reply, but I hear her desperately gasping for air. For the very first time, I see tiny scales growing on her arms. It terrifies me. Nurse, I need help. My mum can't breathe. I watch anxiously as the nurse rushes us inside to assist my mum. The grim reminder that there might not be much time left. I meet up with Anya the next day and tell her about what happened the night before.
What?
Is your mum okay?
No.
She has scales now. There's no way it could be a human disease. It has to be endemia. It looks like our only option is to find a crystal after all. We haven't had any luck since we retrieved the gel. It's so frustrating knowing we already found one before. What if we can't find another crystal?
Robin.
I don't think like that. I'm sure there has to be another one somewhere. Why don't we head back to Lazuli tomorrow? We'll have plenty of time now that it's summer break.
Sure.
You're right. That sounds like a great idea.
Well,
But in case we can't, I've been saving up my tears in the jar as a backup plan. Maybe if we'll collect enough, it'll turn into another crystal.
Really?
Isn't that supposed to take many years? Besides, how are you doing that? Cutting onions. I needed them anyway to make fried rice. I brought some leftovers if you like. I'm not hungry, but thanks. It's been a few months since we started dating and there's a lot of change between us. Back then it was hard to get Anya to talk about anything, but she's really opened up lately. Once the weekend came by, I spent another day looking around the ruins with Banjo's help. But as the sky turns orange, we all regroup before it gets dark. Any luck? I got nothing. Oh, why is it so hard to find one? This is what happened when merfolk nearly went extinct. Blame the humans. Now that I'm the merfolk prince, do I have any special powers that could be useful? I could revive the entire merfolk civilization with Anya's help. Anya and I both turned red after hearing the suggestion. I couldn't tell if Banjo was joking or actually serious. I was talking about other powers. Not ready yet. You've only taken its form a few months ago.
Really?
Seriously? Is this trident only good for shooting magic bolts? Pretty much, but it looks cool. Pew pew.
wow.
What a useless cat. We prepared to leave for the day, but what Banjo said earlier continues to linger in my thoughts. After having dinner, I step outside the porch to watch the stars. The dancing Undines remind me about what Banjo said regarding the merfolk civilization. Anya comes over to check on me.
Well,
Are you cold?
Don't worry.
I'm fine, I just have a lot on my mind. I was thinking about us. We're probably the only merfolk left in the world. You're right, that's just the two of us now. Do you still think about wanting to become human?
actually,
Not lately. I've learned a lot since I got to know you better. You taught me that we can still have happy families even though they're not complete. Becoming a human won't fix everything, and that's okay. We've got each other. We're not alone anymore. I feel the same way about you. Never thought that I'd become the merfolk prince, though. Maybe this was meant to be.
Oh?
That's it, we're not alone. All of those Undines have been here much longer than we have. Maybe they could tell us where the crystals are. Seriously, I said that. Why don't you ask the Undines like an hour ago? Neither of us can talk to spirits still, but I know someone who does. Come on. Anya follows as I hurry inside to find Banjo for answers. After I explained my idea, I was sure it would give us an edge for our search. Unfortunately, there's one problem.
What?
Mute. Left? How are we supposed to find someone who can communicate with the spirit? Mute. Oh, yes, Mute. Can't you do it, Banjo? No, I lost part of my spiritual ties since I took this body. You'll need someone else for the job. There isn't a person who has a strong connection to spirits and the potential to hear them. In fact, you've already met.
Really?
Elizabeth. Really? Who is it? It's no fun if I simply give you the answer, but I do realise this is somewhat urgent. I'll tell you who it is if you can't figure it out within 3 days. 3 days?
Well,
Oh, we could head home and buy some pizza. Trying to bribe me, I see. Well, it worked. If you provide me with that offering, I'll reveal the identity of the one you seek.
Sure.
That's fine. The person we're looking for is probably in Aquadine anyway. Too late to head back, though, so we'll have to spend the night here. Ever since I became a merman, we've been coming back here almost every weekend to search for the crystals. The place kind of feels like a second home now. It's been another long day scouting the ruins, and I'm pretty exhausted. My body just sinks into the nice soft bed with Anya as we embrace into the blankets together. The two of us exchange a goodnight kiss before getting some sleep. Okay, right, I'm just gonna... Is this a dream? Not like one of those mysterious underwater visions I've had in the past, though. It's actually happened. It was my 7th birthday. I remember having a lot of fun playing games with my mum and grandpa. They weren't just family to me, they were also 2 of my closest friends growing up. I was really shy back then, so it took a while before I started hanging out with kids my age. My mum sewed together my very first gondolier uniform as a present. It was earlier that year when I decided to follow in her footsteps and become a gondolier just like her. That was one of the happiest days of my life. Why is this coming back to me now? I don't know, but we'll make new memories as a family again someday. At least I hope so. After the gatekeeper dropped us off the next morning, Anya and I decided to take a walk along the beach together. I wonder what kind of person we're looking for.
well,
All we know is it's someone we've already met. That's too vague. It could be anyone. The gatekeeper will be back to pick us up in 2 days regardless. Maybe it's not worth our time. The sooner we find the person, the sooner we'll figure out where the crystal is. Alright, I'll help you out. Thanks. In order to narrow our search, we need to talk to someone who knows a lot of people.
What's up?
what?
Diana, what are you doing here?
Well,
Just having some fun under the sun. Maybe I can snag a hottie for myself so we can do a double date. Ain't underestimating no 4-eyed cuties this time.
Wow.
That's great. Anyway, you wouldn't happen to know someone who can talk to spirits, do you?
oh,
Talk to spirits? You mean like the zombie cheerleader?
How annoying.
Never mind. Actually, I'm being serious. There's a student who honestly believes they saw her.
Really?
mm-hmm.
I heard it was someone from one of the sports teams, so maybe Cam might know something. Thanks for the tip. Dinah sees us off as Anya and I head home together. I don't know if it's just me, but she looks a bit lonely. I'll be sure to gather all our friends for another hangout next time. We decided to visit Young Pizzeria for brunch, but I'm having some second thoughts about asking Cameron. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Might remind Cameron about the team and how she got banned before the tournament.
Well,
Oh yeah, the Martial Arts Association even confiscated all of her trophies. So he literally did date all of them. Because this is what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the Martial Arts Association even confiscated all of her trophies. I've never seen her look so demoralised before. Ah, no, that was a couple of months. Okay, so a couple of months ago. Right. But still, Elizabeth must have done the concert fairly recently. Anyway, I'm fairly certain it's got to be the other one with Aquadine eyes. Even though this happened a couple of months ago, it's probably best
What?
if we don't bring it up. Bring up what? Anya and I hop out of our seats as Cameron is ready to take our order. Oh, it's nothing.
Robin.
If you're worried about me, that's okay. I've gotten over it. I'm glad you're doing better now, and you can always talk to me if you need someone to listen. Thanks. That means a lot to me. Anyway, how can I help you two?
Actually,
I know this will sound crazy, but we're looking for someone who can talk to spirits. Dan says someone on the sports team claimed they saw the zombie cheerleader spirit.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, not this again. Reminds me about the time when we were looking for the food burglar. Yeah, hopefully Diane isn't pulling our leg again. I know who she's talking about. After Cameron takes our orders, we discuss it more over pizza. Anya and I both look surprised after we find out who it is. Chum and the rest of the martial arts team are currently training in the gym. It's weird not seeing Cameron lead them anymore, though. Anya and I take our seats at the bleachers as we watch the remainder of their practice. Oh god, it's Larry. I'm gonna be bleh.
Oh?
Oh, but he does have the same eyes. He does have the eyes. Hey, Larry, I thought you wanted to quit the team. I was gonna, but whenever I think about leaving, all the time we spent with Cameron comes back to me. Even though it was a hassle, we were better shape because of her. She really got through to me. Everyone here feels the same way. I'm glad she became an inspiration for you guys. Our team didn't get very far in the tournament without her, though, but we'll train super hard and win next year. We want to take home the trophy for Cameron and prove to Mrs. Scout that she made a difference.
well,
Good luck. I'm rooting for you. What are you guys doing here anyway?
As a matter of fact.
We came to ask you about spirits. You were the one that saw the zombie cheerleader, right? But he does. He has the same eyes, so of course. But also Elizabeth could. What's wrong? Just remember there's something I gotta do maybe next time, okay?
how annoying.
Did you see her or not? I saw her alright, but no one took me serious. The way she stared at me was so scary I thought she was going to kill me. Next thing I knew, she turned into a jellyfish and floated away.
Really?
She turned out to be an Undine. Larry has the eyes.
What?
I got the what now? It means you might be the person we're looking for. After assuring Larry that we believe him, he agrees to follow us to the shore later that night. It's still going to be Elizabeth. Once we get there, I notice Larry's jaw drops at the spectacle of Undines. It appears he's never been to this part of town before. That's a lot of jellyfish. What are they called again?
As a matter of fact.
Those are Undines. Spirits of the merfolk have passed away. They are our ancestors. Are my ancestors gonna haunt me? The Undines are completely harmless, but I guess anything could happen with your luck. Larry, we need someone who can communicate with the Undines. You're the only one who saw the cheerleader spirit, so we figure there's a chance you can hear them.
Exactly.
Aquamarine eyes are extremely rare nowadays. There are only a handful of individuals who can see the Undines. It appears you're one of us. Guess that means I'm special. Leave it to me. Larry concentrates. Well, it could be his mum. It could be his mum, or it could be Elizabeth. Larry concentrates as he stares at the Undines. It appears he's attempting to meditate. All great spirits, talk to me. What's he doing?
Well,
Trying his best. After a while, nothing seems to happen. The Undines just tilt their heads a little. I don't hear anything from. Guess I'm not the guy you're looking for.
Don't worry.
That's all right. We appreciate you coming out here, but there's one more thing I want to find out. Some people say a mermaid comes here often to swim. Maybe she'll appear if you swim around for a bit.
Why, yes.
Oops. You really expect me to believe that? It's true. I've met one before, and she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. We even kissed. Anya blushes as she holds my hand. I could tell she was really happy, yet embarrassed to hear that. You kissed her? Maybe if you're lucky, you'll find one as well. Oh, woohoo! Hot mermaid, here I come! Larry doesn't even bother taking his clothes off before jumping into the shore. He swims around for a bit, but hasn't transformed. Guess he's not a merman after all. The medium we're looking for is still somewhere out there, but at least we've learned a bit more about Larry. Hopefully we'll find them soon. Anya and I are setting up the table for breakfast the next morning. She spent the night over at my place. It's not the first time they've done this, though. Ever since we slept together under the same roof in Laswell, we've grown more comfortable living together. The sight of Anya wearing an apron puts a smile on my face, but it also reminds me of something. Back then, I loved helping my mum in the kitchen whenever it came to making desserts. She prepared bowls of coconut shreds, coconut sauce, baby bananas, and peanuts on the table. My mum absolutely loved coconut, so that was no surprise. Where's Dan? We have coconut lover. What are we making this time, Mum?
My.
Frozen coconut bananas. They're kind of like popsicles, but it's been a while since we had them. Excuse me? Okay, what do I do? Whenever my mum taught me something, she would create an example while explaining.
By the way.
After peeling the bananas, we'll put them in their plastic bags. Short bags with zips usually work best. Next, we'll flatten them with this board here, but be careful not to make them too flat. From there, we'll add the coconut shreds and peanuts on both sides of the banana. Then we'll finish off by pouring in some coconut sauce. That's it?
Of course.
Yeah, after that, all we have to do is freeze them. Do you think you can do it?
Mm-hmm.
My first couple of attempts didn't turn out quite like hers, though, but I eventually got the hang of it. After we finished preparing everything, my mum gave me one that was already frozen. It felt different from the mushy ones I'd handled. It was crunchy and tasted very sweet. We often ate them while watching movies together. Maybe I can try making it with Anya someday.
Robin.
You are spacing out. Is everything okay?
Don't worry.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just thinking how cute you looked in that apron earlier. I'm cute? Anyway, breakfast looks great. Anya watched me anxiously as I take my first bite from her scrambled eggs.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's a mermaid taste bud thing. Wow, this tastes really good. You've gotten a lot better. Anya. Thank goodness, I was so worried. I can tell you've been practicing a lot. Yeah, it's all thanks to Diana. She really helped me out. After we finish our meal, Anya and I wash the dishes together before heading out. It's a beautiful day at the outdoor mall where Anya and I are taking a walk. The event that transpired last night is still fresh on our minds. It was really interesting to learn about Larry last night. Never would have thought he'd have the eyes as well. Guess he's a little more than just Cameron's punching bag. Medium's still out there somewhere. What should we do? We don't have any other leads, so maybe it's best to take it easy today.
What's up?
Well, looky here, if it ain't my favourite couple.
What?
You again?
Mm-hmm.
We've been running into each other a lot. Must be fate or something. Sorry if I steal your girl, Hanson.
Really?
I don't think I need to worry about that. Anyway, I snagged this hottie off the food court, so we can go on our double date now.
Well,
I thought we were just friends, Diana. Just play on with me. It's much more fun that way.
how
Very
embarrassing.
well. Diana and I are in a romantic relationship, and we were always 3 children together after marriage. Headcanon.
Well.
Didn't have to go that far. Why don't we just call it one of our usual hangouts? We all unanimously agree before the conversation could take a turn for the West. I want to play the bunny machine! It's been a while since I came to the arcade with my friends, but our group isn't exactly complete. Just got off the phone with Cam. She can't hang with us today because of work. That's unfortunate, but maybe we could stop by for lunch. Robin and I were planning on going there anyway. Sounds like a plan, so what are we going to play? We've got skee ball, air hockey, video games, you name it.
Oh?
You okay? Elizabeth, you look tired.
Forgive me.
I haven't gotten much sleep lately. Perhaps I'll just watch you all play today.
Oh,
Oh, what have you been doing? Staying up talking to someone? Is it a boy?
well,
It's nothing. Please don't mind me. You can all go on ahead. I should wait outside. I'm worried for Elizabeth as she steps out of the arcade. Her behaviour reminds me of the time when she avoided singing at our welcome party. Elizabeth's normally very sweet and selfless, but she keeps a distance sometimes when she doesn't feel comfortable. Maybe I should go check on her to make sure she's doing okay. There's one thing I learned about Elizabeth is she's a terrible liar. Something fishy about this, and it ain't the salmon I had this morning.
wow.
What you gonna do about her? Let's follow her. I bet she's finding something juicy. It's way more fun than these games. Come on. Diana leads the way while Anya and I follow along out of concern for Elizabeth. As we walk outside, Elizabeth appears to be sleeping at a nearby bench. Anya and I are careful not to wake her, but we're close enough to check on her. She's already asleep? Must have been really tired.
Well.
I found Elizabeth stuffing her face at the food court. Maybe she was fattening up for hibernation. But summer year, dear? I want pie.
Really?
She's dreaming about food. Why am I not surprised? Fried chicken, please. Never knew Elizabeth is a sleep talker. Learning more about her every day. Jellyfish. Jellyfish? As in jellyfish. If that's what she meant, we could potentially have another lead.
Anya.
Could I talk to you for a second? Sure. Anya and I find a place where we can speak in private. It appears she knows what I have
Could
in mind.
it be?
Do you think she's talking about the Undines? Maybe she's seen them too.
Well,
I'm not sure. Just because she mentioned jellyfish in her sleep doesn't mean it's relevant. Besides, jelly and fish are both foods, and I mean that's all she talks about in her sleep. There's still one way to tell for sure. Do you still have that group picture we took several months ago? Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, look at those eyes. Seriously. They could be siblings. Anya opens her bag and goes through all her art clutter before finding it. As we take a close look at the picture, neither of us could believe the resemblance. Elizabeth has the eyes. They look just like ours.
What?
I can't believe I never noticed before. Elizabeth isn't from Aquadine, though, so I wouldn't have guessed it either. Neither of us really cared about that picture back then, but it tells us so much now. Even if Elizabeth can see the Undines, it doesn't mean she can talk to them either. If she really has dreams about jellyfish, could that possibly refer to the visions of ancient Aquadine? I don't know, the lazy cat never tells us anything. What should we do? Let's try and find a bit more about her. Banjo never said the medium had the eyes, but I think we're onto something. Anya and I both regroup with Diana, where she looks really tempted to bother Elizabeth in her sleep. After spending some more time at the mall, we all head over to Young's Pizzeria for lunch as planned. Here's your margarita pizza and your lasagna pizza. I'm not going to have the lasagna pizza debate. Enjoy!
How wonderful.
This looks fantastic. I cannot wait to shovel in. How are you feeling? Much better, thank you for asking.
Well,
You have to be more careful about sleeping in public like that, especially considering how famous you are. I was afraid a crazy fan might mess with you.
Wow.
You mean like what you tried to do? Me? That's nonsense. I was just making sure she was safe.
Well,
Was I really asleep for that long?
oh,
Yeah, you were down for the count, huh?
Robin.
So, how did your talk with Larry go? Did you learn more about the zombie cheerleader? Wait, you're telling me that Larry was the one who saw her? Ha! What a fool. Maybe there's some truth to it. Larry has no reason to lie about this. But, what? You never will believe me. Maybe you would have been more convincing if you didn't try and scare us. Larry told us that he saw the spirit of the cheerleader before she turned into a jellyfish and floated away.
Pardon?
Jellyfish? Are you referring to the Undines?
What?
You know about them? Undines? Sounds like a fancy word for some undies. This may sound strange, but I feel like they can talk to me. I see them often in my dreams, and also whenever I take a walk near the water.
What?
You can hear them? But underwear can't talk. Anya and I begin explaining our situation regarding the merfolk law and why Elizabeth is potentially important. Does everyone know she's a they're merfolk now? During Cameron's break, we decided to continue our conversation in the alley while no one else is around. Okay, now you and Anya are mer people? That's right. As far as we know, we're the only ones left in the world. We've kept this a secret for our own safety, but it appears we'll need to rely on our friends for this.
I was wondering...
Could your mum's illness be related to the merfolk? None of the doctors could figure it out, right? Most likely, I believe it's endemia. It's a merfolk disease that causes one to undergo an abnormal transformation to become a full sea creature. Our theory was further solidified when my mum recently grew tiny scales on her arms.
What?
Your mum has scales now? Yes, we have no idea what this could do to a human being though, which is why it's best to assume it might be fatal. While there are multiple problems with her condition, the most important one I'm concerned about is her failing lungs. Nothing the doctors tried so far have proven effective enough to return her breathing to normal. A lung transplant is our last resort, but we don't know if even that will do the trick. The only way we can cure it is with an aquamarine crystal. They're formed from the tears of merfolk, but it'll take many years before one is usable. Our best bet is to find one instead.
oh,
What are we waiting for? Let's go dig them up!
Actually...
The problem is they're extremely hard to find since ancient Aquadine fell to ruins many centuries ago. We spent months looking for them but haven't had any success.
As a matter of fact.
That's why I want to ask the Undines that reside there. We need a medium now. Elizabeth, you might be the person who can help us. If the Undines can tell you where to find the crystal, we might be able to save my mum before it's too late.
You see...
This is a lot to take in. It'd be impossible to believe if it weren't for the dreams I've had. I don't know how useful I could be, and I'm not even sure if the Undines can understand me either. But I know how painful it is to lose the people you love, and I don't want that to happen to you, Robin. If this could potentially help your mother, I want to try.
I know.
I want to help too. Your mum's been such a huge role model for me and many others. Can't think of a better way to return the favour. Too. I've been dying to go on another mission with you all. This will be the biggest one yet.
Robin.
We're all supporting you, Robin. Let's do this together. Thanks, everyone. That really means a lot to me. My friends head home to prepare for our trip tonight, and they agree not to tell anyone about us being merfolk. I've kept these problems to myself for so long, but Anya proved that people can change and learn to open up more. Seeing everyone willing to help reminds me of how fortunate I am to have them. While waiting for the gatekeeper to arrive with the submarine, I look around the beach. No one else is here yet, and yet this is another place where my family made some unforgettable memories. I turn towards the empty swing and remember the time when my mum used to push me. Once I hopped onto one of the seats, she came behind and pushed me gently. Back and forth the swing rocked like a cradle and slowly picked up momentum. Higher! Push me higher! Okay, but hold on tight. Looking back, the swings actually summed up our relationship quite well. My mum was always right behind me and supported me on her own until the day she couldn't. Even though she can't really walk or see anymore, she still helped me whenever I was feeling down. After having my fun, it'll only be fair if we took turns. That's why I insisted on pushing her too. My naive self thought I could move her just as well, but I wasn't strong enough. That hasn't changed even after all these years. I thought I could do it. I thought my mum could finally rest easy and rely on me for once, but it was hard. I told myself to keep trying no matter how long it takes. That's why I'm going to make a difference this time with the help of my friends.
Robin.
The gatekeeper should be here soon. You ready? Yeah. Just as I say that, it doesn't take much longer before the submarine emerges from the water. The sight of it really surprises our friends who are seeing this for the first time. I see that you brought some friends. Is that all right? I know Lazuel is supposed to be kept a secret, but we'd help finding the crystals. You are the Prince of ancient Aquadine now, and old enough to make your own decisions. You believe this is the best way. I will follow your orders. Then we're ready to depart. We prepared to climb aboard while our friends seemed intrigued since they'd never ridden one before. Anya and I are used to it now since we've ridden on it quite often lately. After travelling underwater for a long while, we finally reached Lazuel. Everyone exits the submarine to stretch and get some fresh air.
How wonderful.
This place looks so beautiful. I've never seen a town quite like this before.
Meow.
Banjo, what are you doing here?
As a matter of fact.
This is actually Banjo's home. Here we are her guests. You must be joking. Maybe all that time with Anya is finally getting to you. I would have thought the same a while back, but a lot of crazy things have happened since then. Looks like you successfully found the medium without my help, boy. I'm impressed. The others immediately retract the moment they hear Banjo speak with such a deep voice.
What?
Wait. Did I just hear Banjo talk? Hi, Jessie. Yes. Kinda. There's now two mermaids. My persons. So, you know, they can now repopulate the entire species. Wait, did I just hear Banjo talk? Oh, crap. I mean, yeah.
One moment.
Could you be the one who spoke to me in my dreams?
Meow.
That is correct. I am Levios, the almighty sea deity. You may bow before me.
Really?
We're supposed to worship a cat. I mean, the Egyptians did. Yep. Our entire town was built around paying respect to this house pet. And don't you forget it. Anyway, I understand the reason for bringing the medium, but why are the others here? You know, it's forbidden for outsiders to enter Lazuel. I don't know, Jessie. I really don't.
I know.
I brought pizza. Welcome, honoured guests. Please make yourself at home, said the magic word. Banjo's servants lead the way as our friends are enjoying the scenery. I hope you're feeling better today, Jessie. Once we reach the house Anya and I often stay, and Diana is particularly surprised to see the inside. Wow, this looks exactly like your place.
Well.
Yeah, I still can't believe Banjo went to all the trouble to do that. So is this like a secret base? I guess it is. Never thought about it that way.
Well.
That's because you're lacking imagination, Four Eyes. Where's that sense of adventure? Then again, you two got this place all to yourselves. Fair enough. Anya and I blush as neither of us feel comfortable talking about what we've done privately together. It's been a while since we all had sleepover. Let's do something fun.
Sure.
What do you have in mind?
Oh.
How about we dress Banjo up in cute clothes and take pics? Bet you we'll get tons of likes online. Don't be shy. We can all put dress up together if you like.
Actually.
Oh, okay. But, I mean, 2 mimics is better than none. I'm sorry you haven't had your horde mimic. I don't know how to help. Other than, you know, Juju. How about we set the table for dinner first? Very well, but I should rightfully claim the pizza. Once the servants show our friends to their rooms, they all put away their belongings before heading to the dining room. After everyone settled down and finished dinner, we all gather outside on the porch to witness Elizabeth's interaction with the Undines. Her eyes remain closed until she's ready to talk to us.
You see.
It appears they are welcoming us here.
Really?
You can actually understand them? Yes, but it's only of late that I could hear them more clearly. It was quite rare, even back then, for anyone to have a strong enough spiritual connection with the Undines. You're a very special young lady. It's just a shame you weren't born a mermaid. I never knew there could be others like us around the world. To be honest, I'm not actually a complete outsider. My mother was born in Aquadine. She was raised in Selfa though, so none of us really learned about the merfolk lore back then.
Well.
Where's your mum now? She passed away not long before we moved. I'm sorry to hear that. You have my condolences.
You are too kind.
Thank you for your concern. I truly appreciate it. At times it seems like my mum is watching over me. I feel a stronger connection with her whenever the Undines are around for some reason.
Oh?
Do you think your mother became one of them?
Well,
I'm not sure, but there is one thing I know for certain. I can sympathize with you. Perhaps now you'll understand why I wish to be of assistance. Thank you. I'll return the favour for all of you one day. Elizabeth, did you learn about the crystal's whereabouts? From what I heard, we'd have to ask the Undines that are in ancient Aquadine. They would know better. Hi, Lady Marguerite. Happy New Year. Then it's best you all sleep early tonight. Everyone agrees as we all head back inside after a long day. Now that we know Elizabeth can communicate with spirits, I'm looking forward to what's in store tomorrow. After getting plenty of rest, everyone's preparing themselves for the morning. Yeah, number increment day. No, it's the first of the first. Today is the day we return to ancient Aquadine. I'm ready to learn more from the Undines. However, Diana and Cameron haven't changed into their swimsuits. They're wearing their usual attire instead. We've all gathered together at the dining room for breakfast. Mind if we talk to you guys about something?
Sure.
What's up? Diana and I have been thinking about last night. We thought it'd be better for the two of us help the servants instead.
Oh?
The servants? Yes, we might get in the way of your search since Diana and I don't have the eyes. Maybe it'd be more useful by doing chores or errands for Lazuel. It's frustrating we can't do much else, but I still want to help sometime. First part of the year. The servants have always take care of you guys when you visit Lazuel, so that's maybe where we're needed the most. Besides, I'm sure the cat won't complain if I show them how to make pizza. Lol. Indeed, yes. Bot, go away, bot. Yeah. But still. It's annoying. Ah, thanks, Lady Marguerite. Yes, pizza. Even though Cam and I don't have any fancy superpowers like y'all, don't count us out yet. We'll have a nice warm meal and a bath waiting for y'all when you come back.
Thank you.
That's really thoughtful of you two.
Well.
Have fun out there, okay? Let me know if you find any cool souvenirs.
what?
Key, I appreciate your help. We all share some laughs while enjoying our breakfast. Once everyone finishes up their meal, we part ways with Diana and Cameron after heading out. I'm really grateful my friends are offering to help however they can. The gatekeeper escorts us to the centre of town where the portal is located. We can already see the beaming light.
You see.
I'd like to welcome you again to Lazuel. This is the portal where I enter the ruins of my former civilization, the true Aquadine.
One moment.
The true Aquadine, like the one I've seen in my dreams. That is correct. As one who possesses the eyes and the ability to communicate with the Undines, you are worthy enough to enter.
Well,
But I am a human. Unfortunately. However, by holding hands with the merfolk, you'll be protected by their aquamarine. You'll be able to breathe underwater and won't be at risk of hypothermia. Helpful. So I just need to hold hands with someone.
well,
Yeah, but who are you going with?
rest assured.
I shall hold Banjo instead. Well said. It's been a long time since I've had such a beautiful girl serve me. Hold me against your bosom like before. Pervert cat.
Really?
You haven't changed. Let's just get going
Whatever.
already. Banjo looks quite comfortable as the four of us enter the portal together. While we all cross over, Elizabeth witnesses our merfolk transformations for the first time. Our hair changes colour and our legs merge into tails. The light subsiding eventually reveals our true forms.
How wonderful.
All of you are really merfolk, even Banjo.
As a matter of fact.
That's what you call a catfish.
Fool.
Quiet, you may be the prince now, but I still deserve the proper respect. I am the almighty Levios! This is your first time in ancient Aquadine. How does it feel? Very surreal. I'm actually talking and breathing underwater. Though I'm slightly jealous that I cannot become a beautiful mermaid like you. Some of the Undines are over there. Looks like they're coming towards us.
Greetings.
Hello, my friends. Would you happen to know where we could locate some crystals? Elizabeth is listening to what the Undines have to say, but it looks like she's talking to herself from our perspective. Any luck?
Well,
None of them have seen a crystal in some time. They're not sure if any are left.
What?
Even they don't know? I'm afraid not. However, the Undines recommend checking near the gravesite. I see. They will aid us in our search and tell me if any are spotted. Please forgive them for their inability to provide further information.
Don't worry.
I knew from the beginning that this wouldn't be easy, but their help will still save us plenty of time. I appreciate it. Banjo leads us to the gravesite, which is much deeper than how far we normally go for our searches. There is only a single tombstone. It's a massive one covered with text from an ancient language. We all swim around to get a better look at it.
One moment.
This is quite the large monument. I've never seen this before in my dreams.
You see.
As you can see, it's where the names of my people are engraved. Once someone with merfolk blood passes away, their spirit goes through this tombstone and leaves a name on it. I understand this language is foreign to you all, but if you all squint, your aquamarine eyes will enable you to read it. We all give it a try as thousands of names slowly become readable. I never knew my eyes had this ability. Most of them are names we don't recognize, but there are a few that stand out. Juno's name is on it.
Oh?
Neptune's is there as well, and so is Urus. Losing someone is a pain, as everyone goes through, regardless of who you are. My wife, daughter, and closest friends are all here. Even after many of them start new lives above the surface, I mourn every time a new name appears on the stone. The least I could do is remember the moments I spent with them and pay my respects. The rest of us look at the tombstone again with that in mind. It reminds me of how devastated my mum felt after my dad passed away. I was too young to know him, but he meant a lot to my family. One day there will come a time when I must also learn that pain.
It cannot be.
Elizabeth, what's wrong? My mother's name is on it.
What?
I give it another look and see the name Laura Rhodes near the bottom. I don't understand. To my knowledge, my mother wasn't a mermaid. It may be possible that one doesn't need to be a merfolk in order to pass on as an Undine in the afterlife. Perhaps she carried enough merfolk blood to do so, just like how there are only select individuals who possess the aquamarine eyes. There was one particular Undine that always seemed to enjoy my company. Could it be her? I am not certain, but there are many mysteries even I never thought were possible until recently. Anya is a mermaid born of two human parents. Tori has Endemir. Despite being human, and Robin became the merfolk prince. You can communicate with spirits. Perhaps this could be seen as a gift so you could remain close to her. I never thought of it that way. Thank you. Anya and I offer our condolences as we both give her a hug. After spending some more time by the tombstone, all of us split up to resume our search around the ruins. Reading those names motivates me even more to find a crystal in time. Things didn't work out as well as hoped, despite spending another day searching. As we leave the portal, all I can think about was that giant tombstone we saw.
Rest assured.
Perhaps we'll have better luck next time. Thanks for the encouragement, but no one knows how much time we have left. I don't want to see my mum's name engraved next. Elizabeth hesitates to respond, as she probably remembers that her own mum is an Undine now. Oops. I don't want all the time I spent working to feel like it was in vain. Not after everything she taught me. I see. You're Ciel, aren't you? Anya and I both look surprised as she correctly guesses my identity. Then again, it's my fault for letting that hint slip. It's not enough to expose my secret, though, so I don't know how or when Elizabeth found out. Either way, it doesn't matter anymore.
Elizabeth.
That's right. I've been working as a gondolier under that alias for ages. Had I known the truth about merfolk back then, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation.
Robin.
You were trying your best. It's just easy to think about what could have been done in hindsight. What's important is that you haven't given up. As bleak as it might seem, we still have a chance.
Exactly.
Now that the Undines are helping us, maybe they'll find something soon. They're more active at night after all. It's too early to call it quits. Thanks, I really appreciate everyone's help and promise to return the favour one day. Don't worry about it, let's just enjoy our dinner and get some rest. We all head back inside, but even with their attempt to reassure me, it's still hard to take my mind off this. By the time we return to the house we're staying at, Diana and Cameron finish setting up the table. Dinner looks ready, but I'm not sure I have the appetite right now. I just need a small break. Just going to drop a save, and I'll be right back. magic rock?
What?
You mean the crystal? We didn't find it even with the Undine's help. Things aren't looking up. I'm sure you'll find it next time. Have some dinner and you'll feel better. Nothing beats having some delicious grub after a long day at work.
Sure.
I'll have a little, thanks.
Hey.
Listen, asking the Undines was a great idea, even if it didn't lead you to your goal. At least it shows you're willing to take help from others now. You've changed since then, and that's why we're here for you. We're your friends.
Well,
Kip's right. The two of us may not have any special powers, but that won't stop us from doing what we can. Heck, I'm jealous of you all. Everyone's trying real hard to achieve something. Doing everything possible to help your mum is super wholesome, so I'm proud of you.
Robin.
I know you're frustrated right now, but all we want to do... We all want to do more for her. Your mum's touched many people's lives through her tours. If there's anyone who's got a lot of support, it's her. Now quit whining already and dig in. We've got your back. Thanks for making dinner, you two. Everything looks great. Take a seat after we all wash up for dinner. Sharing this meal with everyone reminds me of the times I used to eat with my mum and grandpa. Right now, my friends feel like family as we gather around the table together. Is this another dream? I remember this. I just finished watching my favourite show before my mum took me out for shopping. The superhero cartoon was called Super Kids, and it comprised of 4 young heroes who fought in the name of justice. Ninja Boy was my favourite hero because he's the leader. I usually hated trying on clothes, but not this time. Seeing the Ninja Boy costume for sale was like a dream come true. The thought of dressing up as him was absolutely mind-blowing, so I begged my mum to buy it for me. However, she insisted on tagging along and dressed up as Freeze Girl. It was a lot of fun. That was the day I promised to protect from danger like a real hero. Even though the costume is too small for me now, I still have it in my closet to remember the times we went trick-or-treating together. That reminds me, Halloween's coming up in a few months, isn't it? We used to enjoy decorating our home with my grandpa. He likes scaring away the other kids, though. I feel too old to dress up now, but those were some fond memories. We're never too old to dress up! After we spent another day searching through ancient Aquadine, the gatekeeper takes us all back to town. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to find what we were looking for, though.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to help me. It was quite the trip. Sorry I couldn't stay any longer. The pizzeria is getting more customers, so my family needs me. Same here. Wish I could help you out more.
Well,
My father was also worried about me for other reasons.
wow.
That's not a surprise coming from him. Perhaps I could ask the Undines around here if they know anything. But what will you do now? I'll pay Mum a visit tonight. I want to check on how she's doing. I'll go with you. I want this to have a happy ending, but also, you don't always get the happy ending. But it also needs to have an ending at some point. I guess that's settled. See you later.
Robin.
Let me know when you guys are planning to get together next time. Hopefully my schedule will open up by then.
Sure.
Sounds good. Thanks again. Anya and I start heading back together as our friends go their separate ways. It's just the two of us again. We meet up with my grandpa to visit the hospital and learn Dr. Woodman needs to talk to us. She's getting us up to speed regarding my mum's condition, but it's difficult to take
What?
in. Her arms are completely covered in scales now, and she's starting to grow gills too. That's right. These symptoms further support the endemia theory, and begin to understand why she feels a bit better when bathed. Our observations, however, keeping her in the tub doesn't seem to be effective enough at the moment. Likely because her abnormal gills haven't fully developed yet. So if they breathe enough to keep her submerged, will she be able to breathe better?
Well,
That's a possibility, but no one is sure what to expect. This seems to be a critical period, though, and her failing lungs may have been a sign for this. What is edemia?
actually,
It's a rare disease that causes one to go through an abnormal transformation into a full sea creature. A merfolk contracting endemia doesn't affect their survival because they already breathe underwater naturally. However, the same can't be said for a human. To my knowledge, this has never happened before. Mermaids were real, and Tori is turning into a fish. If you're still skeptical, seeing her for yourself should convince you that she doesn't have an ordinary disease. I've asked the nurses to keep quiet about her condition, but imagine how the town would react if they found out about this. They'd be buzzing about how the family's gondolier is living proof of the merfolk's existence.
Well,
As it must assume her life could be in danger?
you see,
We can't rule out that possibility, especially after what we've just learned. Humans have lungs while fish do not. During this mutation, there may be a period where she cannot receive any oxygen. Her gills are developing, we don't know if and when her lungs will shut down. Assuming she doesn't become a mermaid, this could be a lethal phase. I'd like to see her now, Doctor. Of course, right this way. Every time I hear how my mum is doing, things never look up. Today is the worst news we've gotten so far. Dr. Woodman allows us to see us to see her, but warns us to prepare ourselves for what we're about to witness. Oh, but we don't get to see it. I kind of wanted to see it, but also not. It's getting late as I'm walking Anya home after our visit, but all I can think about was the way my grandpa reacted. Once we saw the state my mum is in, he had a look of pure disbelief before shedding tears. The sight of her asleep while turning less human was too much for him. It's probably when he realised how serious our conversation was. I've never seen him get so emotional in my life.
Robin.
Are you doing okay?
Don't worry.
I'm alright for now, but it's my grandpa who I'm concerned about. Must have felt like a punch to the gut to see my mum like that. Didn't know anything about the merfolk until today, unlike us.
Maybe.
You think there's a possibility she'll turn into a mermaid instead? I feel looking at it that way, she might be okay. I can't afford to take any chances, especially seeing as it's never happened to a human before. That's what makes the situation so stressful. No one knows how things will turn out, not even Levius himself. True, but that's not how it's always been. Because of your persistence, we now know how to cure it. You should be proud of how far you've come.
Anya.
Couldn't have done it without your help, though. Thanks for always being there.
Well,
No matter how difficult it seems, we won't give up until the very end. We're in this together. I caress Anya's long black hair as we gaze into each other's eyes for a while. Hardly anyone is around at this time. It's just the two of us. My other hand finds its way around to her lower back as we embrace. Soon enough, our lips do the same. After parting ways with Anya, I decide to continue searching for crystals alone. She preferred to help me, but everyone is probably tired after a long day. However, I come across another girl who seems to be enjoying the view.
Oh?
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
well,
I wish to speak with the Undines, but they haven't seen any crystals either. That's a shame, but I appreciate your help, though. How is your mother doing? Not well. The doctors think there's a chance she won't be able to breathe due to the abnormal changes of her body. I have to keep trying, but it's hard not to worry about the situation. She could be running out of time.
you see.
Believe me, I can sympathise with the anxiety you're going through. I felt the same when my mother was hospitalised as well. Those were some of the most stressful days of my life. If I may ask, how did you cope with losing her? I haven't. Each day has been a challenge despite the many months that have passed. There are moments when I recall the memories we shared, but it hurts even more to know she's no longer here. It leaves me empty inside. It's not a mere phase that anyone can move on from easily. It's a loss that I must bear for my entire life. I never knew we were going through all this. You always seem so cheerful around us.
Robin.
Time does help heal wounds, though, especially when I have such wonderful friends. The days we spent together were a blessing. You all reminded me what it was like to be happy again. For that I am truly grateful. Thanks for sharing your experience. It helps knowing I'm not the only one who's going through this. If you need someone to keep you company, I'm here for you.
My.
Very considerate, very thoughtful to a girl you're not dating. Would this be considered cheating?
Really?
No, it's not. I'm glad you haven't changed, though. I do sincerely appreciate the thought, Robin. Perhaps I should take you up on your offer sometime. Elizabeth gives me a hug to comfort me during this difficult time. She really understands what I'm going through, and I feel more comfortable talking to her about it. After spending more time with her, I walk Elizabeth home before heading back myself. Nice to know that I'm not alone. There are other people who've been through this before. But it's just frustrating to know how close I am to finding the cure yet so far. I'm not sure how much time is left, or even if I need to worry at all. No matter what happens, though, I know my friends will be there for me. Even though Endemir cannot be treated normally, gondola tours are still my family's main source of income. I have to stop by the grocery store for some milk first, but there's a familiar face. Cameron! I'm surprised to see you here so early. I had to pick up some ingredients for the restaurant. More tourists have been visiting lately. Yes, my schedule today is pretty packed as well.
I was wondering...
Where's Anya? She's out looking for crystals again. I told her it's okay to take a break, but she insisted. Anya has become a lot more open and dedicated ever since the two of you started dating. I'm glad you both got to know each other more.
Thank you.
You look handsome in uniform, by the way. Reminds me of your mum when she used to give tours. I was worried when you quit your job back then, but that was before learning the truth. Yeah, it's just so hard to meet everyone's expectations, especially when the bar is so high. Even now, it feels like I'll never be as good as her.
Robin.
I understand how you feel, especially since your mum is a role model for me as well. She taught me to be grateful for what I have and inspired me to become an emotionally stronger person. Remembering that helped me get through some really tough times. Like what happened before the tournament. I wanted to prove that if people keep working on themselves, they can accomplish great feats. It doesn't matter what others think of you. I know your situation is complicated though, but hopefully that helps. Cameron has been my closest friend since I was a kid, and it's nice to have a personal talk with her once in a while. Seeing her train so hard for all those years inspires me to keep working towards my own goals. Reminds me that my mum touched the lives of many people in this town, not just mine. By the time I return from grocery shopping, Diana is waiting outside for some reason. The second we make eye contact, she runs over to greet me.
What's up?
Did you miss me? I just saw you yesterday. What brings you here anyway?
Mm-hmm.
I'm your first customer for the day. I asked your granddaddy to keep it secret to surprise you.
Oh?
But why at all? Those things aren't cheap, you know. I just wanted to chill a bit longer before work. Besides, this is one of the only ways a normal girl like me can help you out. In that case, welcome to the Cloud Company. My name is CL and I'll be your tour guide for the day. Woohoo! I call shotgun!
Really?
You do realise this isn't a car, right? Actually, there are hardly any cars in this town. Let me have your fun. Let me have my fun. I'm your customer for the day, after all. Diana hops on the gondolier before I even get a chance to assist her. She's as gung-ho as ever, I see. We're riding along the canal as I go through my usual routine. Diana seems interested, but not exactly in the tour itself.
Robin.
Sometimes it's hard for me to believe that you're the same Four Eyes all along. You've been doing this ever since your mum got sick, right? Yeah, it's been a few years now. The job probably won't help her get a cure anymore, but it brings in good money. You're really awesome, you know. Ever since Anya told me your secret, I've been thinking about you. Everyone thought you were good for nothing when you quit the job, but that wasn't true at all. You were working hard right under our noses. Diana gazes at the Fresno Cafe before looking down at her reflection. She's not smiling or laughing like usual.
Oh?
Is something wrong? Sorry, I have a lot on my mind lately. We've only got another year together until graduation. It won't be long before we're all adults. Things change whether we like it or not. Some of us may go to college while others may move away. But no matter what happens, the memories we shared in this town will be with us forever. The time we spent with our family and friends is part of who we are. No one can ever change that. Oh, you're real sweet. What are you going to do after you graduate? Never really put much thought into my own future other than helping my mum. I'll probably just continue working as a gondola and tour people around town like she did. As long as she's fine, that's enough for me. Care a lot about me, Mum. Must be nice to share so much love for each other. All Mum's ever talks about is me inheriting the cafe, but I don't want to rely on the fam for the rest of my life. Still don't know what to do, though.
Don't worry.
It'll come to you someday. Just got to keep trying new things and see what you like.
Oh.
Oh, in that case, how about you sing for me? Sing?
Mm-hmm.
I've always looked up to you and Elizabeth since both of you sing so damn well. That could give me some ideas. Besides, your mum was the one who taught you that song, right? I know you're going through a rough time, but maybe it's good to think about some memories once in a while. As you wish, miss. I take a deep breath before performing my barcarolle. Singing it slowly takes me back to the days when I was still learning the lyrics. My mum used to bring me along on her tours and she'd sing to her customers on occasion. I was mesmerised by her soothing voice and wanted to try it too. It's not a language I'm familiar with though, so it took a while before I got the hang of it. My grandpa told me it's a song passed down within our family for generations. Apparently my late grandma was the one who taught my mum when she was young. It's a beautiful song, yet feels so sad at the same time. I look around and notice the same bench where we'd often sit to enjoy our pretzels. Mum used to take me out to eat during her breaks. It reminds me of the promises we made a few months ago. We're going to share some pretzels again after she gets discharged from the hospital. All I want is to spend more time with her. Don't need anything else. The brief vision of my childhood fades away to the present as we move on with our tour, leaving the bench vacant. It's already gotten dark by the time I dropped my lost customer off for the day. After securing my gondola, I stretched for a bit before taking a seat by the dock. My mum and I used to sit here as she shared stories about some of her tours. I really enjoyed listening to her talk about tourists she's met from all around the world. My grandpa would join on occasion, but not this time. Tonight it's just me gazing at the stars. However, something strange appears from the night sky. A shiny orb of light slowly falls before hovering over my palms. I have no idea what it is, but it's warm. The sensation reminds me of my friends who are trying to their best to support me. It makes me feel ashamed of myself for not trusting anyone back then. This job was my only hope and I was afraid of losing it. After learning the truth about my mum's condition, I realised I needed to rely on others. There are some things that just can't be done alone and that's okay. But somehow this orb also reminds me of the memories I shared with my mum. Could all the visions and dreams I've seen lately be connected to it? The orb of light dances around me for a bit longer before floating away. I continue staring at it with interest while Annie walks over.
Robin.
Hey, Robin, I couldn't find any crystals today. That's all right, but did you see that light just now? Let's go follow it. What is it? No clue, but maybe it'll lead us somewhere with crystals.
Wow.
Your level of curiosity is unrivaled. Guess you've always been this way.
Sure.
That's how I met you, right?
Well,
You have a point. Anya and I dive into the water after letting my grandpa know we'll be spending the night together. Understanding grandpa. Woo! Another achievement! Okay, so we're nearly at the end. Both of us change into our merfolk forms as we're swimming underwater. We haven't lost sight of the orb, but Anya still looks skeptical about it.
Robin.
Do you think it'll actually help us?
Don't worry.
Don't have any other leads, so I say we go for it. I've never seen anything like it before. Wonder what it could be.
As a matter of fact.
Before we left, I asked my grandpa if he could see it floating around, but he couldn't. Maybe it can only be seen by those who have the eyes. Do you think it's like an Undine? Dunno, but we might at least learn a thing or two by following it. There's just something about it that feels familiar. Really? This isn't the first time you've seen it?
Sure.
Yeah, but it's hard to describe. My gut is telling me to trust it, though. Then let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. Anya and I continue following it for a while, and we're beginning to recognise this particular path. We find ourselves back at Lazuel while resurfacing, and our bodies are changing back to human forms. Both of us are surprised to be here.
Oh?
Why did it come to Lazuel? Could it be going to ancient Aquadine? I don't know, but let's hurry up before we lose sight of it. Ahem. What are you two doing here this late?
As a matter of fact.
We were following an orb of light and it led us here. I saw it come by just now. This one seems quite friendly. Do you know what it could be? It's a harmless spirit, but my body was itching to catch it. Small round things always get me.
Really?
Never mind that. Did you see where it went?
You
I
see.
headed towards the portal. Maybe it knows where the crystals are. Let's go follow it. Just as Banjo said, it appears the spirit is waiting for someone to unlock the portal. Once it's open, Anya and I return to ancient Aquadine together. Could be Juno. Both of us switch back to our merfolk forms the moment we submerge. My body is exhausted from that long swim, but I'm too excited to care. Tonight could be the moment we find a crystal. Where do you think it's going? Not sure, but we've spent months looking around these ruins. Even the Undines couldn't help us, so try not to get your hopes up, okay?
Don't worry.
I'll be fine. Surely we'll learn something now it led us here. Either way, we'll probably have to stay the night. It'll be just us, though.
Well,
Let's just concentrate on this first. We follow the orb through the ruins, but it doesn't seem interested in anything particular yet. Despite how vast ancient Aquadine is, we've grown more familiar with the layout after our many searches. The orb appears to be going somewhere further away, though. As we catch up to it, I'm surprised to learn where we are.
Could it be?
We're back at a tombstone.
maybe.
Maybe it's trying to show us something. The orb of light hovers close to me for a while before floating in front of the tombstone. Neither of us are quite sure what it's doing, but I have a feeling something's about to happen. A blinding flash. Oh god, if that's his mum. It's gonna be his freaking mum. Just died. A blinding light flashes as the orb enters the tombstone. We're shielding our eyes, but I still want to take a peek. By the time it subsides, a new engraving slowly appears. It's my mum's name. It takes a while for that to sink in because it's just so hard to believe. I read the text over and over just to make sure there's no mistake, but it's really there. The moment Anya tries to comfort me with a hug, I realise this is actually happening. My mum died. I can feel my heart drop while anxiety settles in. I want to hurry back to the hospital and see for myself, but deep down I know it's too late. It doesn't take much longer before I finally accept reality. Break down in shambles. The pain I'm feeling is unbearable, like something just ripped my heart out. But no matter how much I cry, the tears keep getting mixed in with the rest of the water. I continue to mourn at this very spot for the rest of the night. 2 weeks have passed since the funeral. Everyone was there, but it was all a blur. It felt like a really bad dream, at least I wished it was. Since then I've locked myself in my room, no school, no tours. I just want to be left alone. My grandpa checked on me when it was time to eat, but I never felt hungry. He came into my room sometimes to reminisce about our memories as a family. There were times when it's hard to believe that it's just the two of us now. As we carried on with our conversation, I gazed at the photo that was taken a while back. Reminding me that I'm not alone. My friends have always been there for me, and those were some of the happier moments of my life. Ever since my mum passed away, they often visited and asked how I was doing. For the first time in a long while, I finally stepped out the house to take a walk. I found myself coming back to the hospital out of habit, even though there's no longer someone there for me to see. The room my mum occupied for so long has been vacant ever since. I neglected reading the letter all this time because part of me still couldn't let her go. Dr. Woodman said that my mum prepared an envelope for me in case this happened. My grip on the envelope tightened slightly out of frustration. After taking a deep breath, I finally gathered the courage to open it. My mum's handwriting is difficult to make out given her failing vision, but I managed to read it. Dear Robin, you've been taking care of yourself lately. Sorry I wasn't able to raise you for as long as I hoped. I wish I could have cooked your meals and packed your lunchbox each night like a normal mum. It must have been hard to go to school and work every day all for my sake. When did you grow so big that I was the one that had to rely on you? You've become such a smart, mature and kind young man, and I couldn't be happier to have you as my son. No matter what anyone tells you, there's nothing wrong with being yourself, and I'm glad you met a girl who feels the same way. If only I had the chance to share some of your cute childhood stories with her, like the time when you wore that adorable superhero costume. You love watching that cartoon and collecting those action figures. Even though you've grown out of it now, you'll always be my little hero. Make sure you eat your vegetables, okay, and fold your bed every morning. I know you can be a little lazy about that sometimes. Why does it matter? You're just gonna get into it to sleep. No matter how you decide to live your life, I will always be proud of you. I love you so much. Mom. A single teardrop lands on the note, followed by another, then a few more. They won't stop dripping down my cheeks, no matter how many times I wipe them away. The emotions I've held back for so long are overflowing beyond my control. I clench my teeth but can't fight the frustration back any longer. Why would she call me a hero when I couldn't save her? How could she be proud of me when I wasn't able to achieve anything? What was I supposed to do? All sorts of questions cycle through my head until there's nothing left to blame myself for. I just really miss her. I mean, surely the gatekeeper can see how much that, Robin looks like he did. It's going to be really bittersweet if he finds out that's his dad after he's just lost his mum. She was the biggest part of my life. She was my first friend who played with me when I was little. She took care of me whenever I got sick and raised me into the person I am today. She was my role model, she taught me everything and has always been there for me until the day she couldn't. Whenever I think of her, I remember how much she loved Aquadine. The breathtaking scenery that dazzled my eyes, the scrumptious food our town is known for. I'm really hungry now. The fun memories we shared together. All of it. I'll never forget the time I spent with her, even though it feels so bittersweet right now. I can't think of any better words to describe this pain I'm feeling. It just hurts. It really hurts. For anyone who's struggling like I am and is also trying to find peace, you're not alone. There will come a time when we must say goodbye to the people we love. All we can do is remember them and hope they're resting well. It's only been 2 weeks, but I'll probably cry a lot more for months or even years to come. It'll be hard, and I don't know if everything will be okay, but I want to at least live my life that she gave me and learn to smile again. Tomorrow's a new day. Oh, so we don't even get to know that that was his dad. I'm just, hypothesizing that it could have been. Maybe he was saved, but he can't. I don't know. Well, that's it. That is the end. That was absolutely perfect timing. Okay, well, that is Aquadine. That's all the achievements. We didn't earn them all on stream. We did do the other 3 stories. I did do the other 3 stories yesterday. But I think that gives you as much of a complete picture of the game. I know that a lot of people just basically load it up and hit fast forward, but I like to do it justice, and that will make me cry. Yeah. So yeah, that was absolutely perfect timing. It's 10 to 6. I can finish very slightly earlier and sort some food out. I don't know whether I'm just gonna cave and do takeout if they're delivering, or eat what I've already cooked, literally, and it's in my... Can't decide when I'm hungry. I will stare at the stuff in my fridge for a little bit, though. Probably sit down and then forget, and then be like, I am starving, I need to do something. But yeah, so that was Aquadine. Soft Colours is the developer, Ratslaker published, and I believe I got the code from PR Hound. You've already had, yeah, but I mean it's not even 6 yet, so you... Which meal did you have? I've had breakfast at 12 o'clock. So I'm not sure if this is lunch or dinner or some sort of dunch, minna, tea, I don't know. Basically, I have 2 meals a day when I remember. Sometimes I have 3. Yeah. So yeah, so that was Aquadine. Thank you very much to your hand for the code for streaming that, because that was really cool. So that is, okay, technically it's the new year, but that, you know, sort of draws the line under previous games, promo games, aside from a couple of story ones I'll fit in. I was trying to explain at the beginning of the stream, basically, that I've got a whole batch of new promotional ones to do, and I'm quite glad I managed to sort of like, not so much clear out, but finish off ones that are hanging around from last year. So we're pretty much up to date. Anything else, I think I'm just drawing a line under it now, and we'll start afresh. As to what we're doing next week, as soon as next week starts tomorrow, I'm not entirely sure. I have some promos. Depends, I think, what Jessie is interested in streaming if we do a Tuesday co-stream. There is a new Artifacts Mundi game. You know me, do love a good hidden object, as long as it doesn't have any knot puzzles. Or there's also, I think, Entropy Center showed up on my random to-do list, which I thought we could do as a co-stream. So we'll have to see. And then I've got some promos. Well, okay, just put it this way. I've got promos, but I've got some that need promoing sooner than others that I could do as a dual thing, because I believe it's the same publisher. Possibly the same PR company. I don't know. But they sort of fit together, and there's shorter ones that would do quite well in a double stream. So that's probably going to be Thursday. And then we'll see what the weekend brings, honestly, because that's way too far ahead for me to think right now. But thank you everyone for being here today. Appreciate the company. It's always hard for me to know if people like the streams, so, you know, but I don't always do them for other people, I do them for me. However, I do take people's opinions into account, so that's why we've finished off the games that we did. So yeah, so that one is now complete. I will uninstall it because I claimed some space back. That's what I've been trying to do, really, is reclaim a little bit of space. Not that these take up a great deal of room, but finishing games, if I can, is always important, because then I can uninstall them and get some space back. Still slightly irked at Figment from yesterday. But yeah, overall I've got like 77% full on my games. Some hard drives are more full than others, but it's a case of I really need to clear some space before I start installing more. And we already, I mean, I've got 2 bigger games that I bought in the sale. I got Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo after Lady Magritte's streamed it, and I've got the latest in the Siberia point-and-click games. But then I've also got a bunch of promos as well. So yeah, I need to figure out what I am going to play for the rest of the day. Though I am also going to have some food first. Need to figure out what I'm eating first. So yeah. I've been Joe. Is there anyone online? Shawk's playing Baba. Let's go raid Shawk, just for, you know. Because Baba Is You is a cool game that I kind of I want it to come. Ooh, they're literally just starting. Oh, that's excellent. I kind of want to hope that it's coming to Xbox at some point. Baba Is You. I don't know whether it will or not, but hey. So yeah, so I'm going to get myself some food. If you've not eaten, hydrated, had meds, whatever you need a reminder to do, then do that. But as I said, I'll be back on Tuesday with the normal streams. I will post some sort of a schedule tomorrow, possibly. As I said, I need to talk to Jessie about what the plan could be. But for now, I've been Joe, otherwise known as Ancient SK. I wish I could be a mermaid. I like the sea, but sadly that is not to be. So for now, good night, good day, good afternoon, whatever time period.